14th season of MPL Philippines is brought to you by the following sponsors. Smart, the official telco partner of MPL Philippines Season 14. The official tournament phone of MPL Philippines, Infinix GT20 Pro. Official suppliers, EMC Asia and Index Salon. Experience the MPL-PH Season 14 action live at Green Sun, Makati City. Grab your tickets now via official MPL-PH website. Don't miss any MPL action by following our official Facebook and subscribing to our YouTube channel. Follow MPL-PH on TikTok for more content. And to ensure the equality and fairness of our games, MPL Philippines is also monitored and supervised by the Games and Amusements Board.
Lakas ng Pinas!
Very fast break after witnessing the streak of Fnatic Onic continuing as they beat Aurora. Again, we are at the English desk. My name is... I was supposed to say my first name. My first name, Igan. Together with me is Naisu. And Naisu, so far, how do you feel about the first series we witnessed?
First series was great. I'm glad we got 3 games, but they were very one-sided at the end. You know, Game 2 and Game 3, of course, for Fnatic Onic Philippines. But hey, I'm happy that they also maintained their win streak right now.
Yeah, and speaking of win streak, Fnatic Onic on a roll. They were able to reverse sweep again Aurora after Aurora's magnificent 5-man defense as they wiped out Fnatic Onic to go for a one-way push. But of course, KK Connection maintains Fnatic Onic's unblemished record. So far, they only lost 2 games, not series.
Yeah.
So they're currently 8-2 and leading the standings.
Definitely are, and that's why I'm saying, you know, I think you brought this up in the matchup. I think King Kong has been doing an amazing job ever since, you know, he first came in as a rookie into the MPL season. And, you know, obviously Kelra gets to shine off that too. I just think as a whole, whether it's the Kelra and King Kong connection, it's just the team as a whole. Like, that's why we called them the Super Fam.
Super Family. Actually, we witnessed this during game number 2 wherein they were rotating as one unit, 5 members all throughout the map during game number 2. And looking at the updated lineup as of week number 3 after the first series, Fnatic Onic currently with a 4-0 win-loss record. Right behind them, of course, is Smart Omega starting things out. 3-0 strong start for week 1 and week 2. And of course, Aurora, MLBB, Falcons AP.Bren, TOPH, RSG, Blacklist, TNC. I asked this a while ago, Nice. Were you expecting to see this kind of standing so far?
I think you need to ask the viewers out there watching if this is what they expected too, because, I mean, surely all of us, like as casters, we kind of, you know, we have our power rankings, if you will. And this is not how I personally would have expected things to fall. Yeah, it's good to see that there's this kind of shake-up, you know, that there's a shake-up in the standings. Even for some of the teams out here, obviously a lot of these teams had different expectations. And it's an exciting place to be at this point with week 3. And
you can actually see the effect of the new pointing system. I mean, if you lose the series automatically, you don't get anything. Even if you extend it to game 3, a series win entails 1 point, and a series loss entails 0 points. That's why coming into week number 3, we still have 2 teams, bottom teams, that has yet to have a score. But for you out there, for the viewers out there, feeling bored with the usual ranked matches, spice things up with Snapdragon Pro Series Mobile Legends Bang Bang Season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
It's time to step up your game and face off against the best. Sign-ups open for all qualifiers. Just head on over to esl.gg/SPS MLBB. Man, I feel like that just concluded, and now we're getting ready for registrations for the next one.
So there's Snapdragon. Of course, there's going to be M6 Future on. So every month we always have a tournament. But speaking of tournament, what we are going to witness later on is the matchup between RSG Philippines going up against Falcons AP.Bren. That's why panel, take this away, set the stage, and have fun.
Welcome back to the Infinix Game Tambayan. It's still me, Brigida. Brigida, right? Together with Redmond. I don't know why I thought it.
Forgot your own name.
But yes, it's still us together with our casters who recently passed over the, I don't know, the screen to us. Again, our standings stay the same, but for this match, compared to the previous match, it feels like there are more established expectations coming into this match, which definitely RSG Philippines have to challenge up against the Falcons AP.Bren.
Yeah, it's funny because both of these teams, I feel like if they end up with a negative result for this matchup, that's when the fans are going to start to panic a bit. It's like first for the Falcon AP.Bren, like for the Falcon AP.Bren, Falcons AP.Bren fans, you're like, wait, they won 2 last week. How come? What's happening? RSG hasn't even has only won 1 series. And then now if you're an RSG fan, it's like, oh no, why can't we get like a good streak going? We're gonna get worried.
So both of these teams, but particularly for RSG, which now we are about to discuss, have to prove a lot coming into this match. But for RSG, they are welcoming a new XP laner. So the full name's written below. As you can see, it's Zeke Sways Himaya.
Yeah.
And his in-game name is By Lucy. So he's a new player joining RSG Philippines for the 3rd week of MPL Philippines Season 14. And again, we're now open to this. Like, we can now slowly see some changes in terms of the lineups of our teams because, again, we're allowing new players to come in and out of the lineups. They can adjust every now and then.
Yeah, it's the new transfer system, the global transfer system. So a little bit about By Lucy. He was scouted by RSG after joining MDL Philippines Season 3, one of the regional qualifiers in a region here called Cebu. And he's also an MSL Collegiate Cup 2024 participant under USC Vamos.
Yes. Actually, I feel like this player or the inclusion of By Lucy in the lineup of RSG is somewhat something that's close to me because aside from the fact that we're the same age, he's 23 years old, that's very young, I feel. He's also a student. I mean, I'm no longer a student. I just graduated recently. But at the same time, you get how he had to make a choice.
Yeah.
It wasn't an easy choice. It wasn't an easy decision for sure that he had to let go of one because he couldn't take on both MPL and studying. He's an engineer, so he's studying a very heavy course. We all know that it takes a lot of time and attention, dedication. You need to give it your all if you were to take up engineering. You also have boards after that. So.
Yeah, it might take a while though until we see him, but it's like RSG Philippines can't escape the you guys operate like robots allegations anymore because they already have the mechanic, now they have the engineer.
Oh.
If we see them play together, gotta be. They're like a machine.
Yeah, I mean we're yet to know. We can't say if we'll be immediately seeing By Lucy play later on. But then now moving on and talking about Falcons AP.Bren, we also have one player here that we have to discuss. Their jungler, who's been very consistent. I'd say even in prior seasons where the meta was not so much leaning towards assassins, but all the more now that he's really shining in his role as a jungler for Falcons AP.Bren.
Kyle Teasy, he was really... A lot of eyes have been on him, mainly because it was Irad who really said, hey, he's the #1 jungler entering this season. And he's gotten championships. The world tour still continues somewhat. At Kyle Teasy, 17 total turtle kills. That's the first among all junglers in the league.
Yeah.
They have, let's say, they've played 7 games already. There are 3 turtles each game.
Yes.
So a total of 21. Kyle Teasy has only missed securing 4 turtles this season. 17 out of 21 turtles went to Kyle Teasy in the games that Falcons AP.Bren played. That alone speaks the insanity of it. And all of the stats you see on screen, those are all the stats where he is placed #1. Total Lord kills, GPM, KDA, hero damage per game. There's a reason why he's the one above them all.
Yep.
The stats don't lie.
The stats don't lie. The math.
Why am I angry?
I leave the math to Renmar because I wouldn't trust my own math.
That's a mistake.
But then,
I'm not a math guy. I'm a numbers guy. I'm not a math guy.
But the numbers, because earlier I made a major mistake in calculating like 2019 to 2024. I made it 6 years.
You explained that 2019 is, you counted the whole 2019 as 1 year.
But still.
That's fine, that's fine. I'm already tossing you a bone here.
Oh, okay,
Come
okay.
on.
I take it, I take it. it was an honest mistake. I mean, sometimes you count that way. Do you?
Yeah, sometimes.
I don't know. But then, right now here we're seeing like just how much of a threat Kyle TZ really is as a jungler. Basically, that's what we've seen on the statistics where he's ranking first. And even in the current meta, I feel like he's one of the few junglers who you really have to respect the Fanny. Like, not a lot of times you see the Fanny immediately banned out, but when you're up against Kyle TZ, I think it's one of the immediate options that you really have to consider. But now, enough about RSG, enough about Falcons AP.Bren. So we're giving both of them to you. Show your support, MPL fans. Who do you think between these two teams will win this match? Is it RSG Philippines or Falcons AP.Bren? Because now you can vote via our online poll. So if you would recall earlier, we had this community prediction which showed up after the series. Now is your time to actually dictate how the statistics or how the percentages are going to be. Are you voting for RSG? Are you voting for Falcons AP.Bren? It's up to you, but for now, let me ask you, who's going to be your vote coming into this
come
series?
on, people know I'm a long time. People know I'm a long time Falcons AP.Bren guy.
Okay.
I'm a Falcons AP.Bren guy.
All right. So
we can have the same prediction.
Yeah, I was thinking if I wanted to, but honestly, I'm also giving this to Falcons AP.Bren. But then that just means I'm hoping that somehow we get some surprise. Earlier, we were also somewhat surprised, not just in terms of the draft, but even in the way like these teams were able to, I think, like.
Good evening sa ating mga kasama. Welcome to Chelsea Gaming. Yan. This is week number 3. Day number 1, match number 2 po. Kanina nagbakbakan na ng unang match, yung Aurora versus Fnatic Onic, which is nanalo Fnatic Onic 2-1 against the Auroras. Kumbaga, dire-diretso pa yun ng win streak ngayon ng Super Family. But right now, napaka-interesting nito. It's RSG versus Falcons AP.Bren. As we all know, wala na. Or nagpahinga, depende, di natin alam yung si Nat sa RSG PH. Yan, shoutout kay Macren's TV. Hindi daw siya makapag live sa ML. Try mo ulit, nag-update na sila. Mukhang ayos na yung bug nung nung camera FI. Pwede ka na ulit doon, mag-live. We have here the introduction.
Matchup, but first, let's introduce once again our marshals here for us. JJ, Jeff, Pat, and Wilbert here for the fairness and integrity of the game. And now it's time. Raiders, a formidable opponent lays ahead, and the team is ready to take on a new challenge. Let's welcome them to the stage. It's RSG Philippines. And now their opponents, one of the titans of MLBB, decorated world champions, give it up for Falcons AP.Bren. And leading the teams to victory here, their coaches for RSG, it's Coach Panda. And across from them, the revered coach, it's Coach Ducky.
Naghahabol ka ng ngayon puntos. Yung mga in-expect natin nasa taas, medyo naghahabol sa sa ranking.
TZ, Nibor, please step forward. Face off. Flap TZ,
Bagong expiling.
ano ang palag mo?
Nibor, ako to si Tanggol.
Reset.
Nibor, ano ang palag mo?
Tanggol.
Palag kung palag, fist bump.
Sasabihin niya si David.
A veteran versus a rising star. Whose hero within will come out stronger? It's time to enter the Lanadon panel. Pasok.
I don't know why that felt like the most random face-to-face we've ever had just because of their references and their expressions
We
which they
have
made.
here
But then
RSG
confirming
PH,
it's going to be Nibor,
Jose, Irad, Aqua, Nibor, and Light.
Jose, Irad, Aqua, and Light.
This will maganda-gandang match up. Kung magbibigay ba ng kakaibang timpla si Nibor sa side ng RSG PH. Yung mga gusto magpa-shoutout, punta lang kayo sa Chessy Gaming para mabasa yung mga shoutout nyo. We're also live sa Macrens TV, naka-cross-post tayo doon, and Chessy Gaming Plays. And we are also live sa YouTube through Chessy Gaming din po. Yan, please do like and follow ang ating mga page para mas marami tayong makasamang manood ngayong gabi sa bakbaka ng Falcons AP.Bren at RSG PH. This is Chessy Gaming, official authorized restreamer partner for MPL-PH season 14. This is week number 3, day number 1, match number 2. In terms of team head to head, ganda ng dito ng take ng Falcons AP.Bren. Damage dealt, average gold, lumamang lang dito sa
All of the other competing teams in the league. Coach Ducky leading the team also has played a huge role.
field participation lang. Pero konting lang to, 72% versus 68.
I remember previously how Coach Panda, I mean we're seeing all the
Malaki-laking dito, hinahabol ng ng RSG PH para sa puntos.
they don't. But I feel like another thing to note about RSG is that
As we all know, medyo mabigat ang point system ngayon ng season 14. It's all or nothing. Kailangan mong manalo para magkaroon ng 1 point. It's either maka 2-0 ka, may 1 point ka, or 2-1, maka 1 point ka pa rin. Kumbaga sa mga loser team natin sa mga match sa buong series, wala silang makukuhang puntos. Kaya every game counts ngayong season 14. It's Irad versus Kyle TC. In terms of mechanics, almost naman to, dikit, pero iba pa rin yung experience ni Kyle TC compare kay Irad sa mga international games or tournaments na sinalihan ng AP.Bren. Pero yung comfort pick dito ni Irad, which is mga assassin. Makikita ba natin dito yung early drop natin, baka i-focus sa mga hero ni Irad. Tanggalin yung mga assassin. Baga as per Cal TC naman, napaka versatile in terms of hero. Yung shoutout sa mga viewers natin sa Chessy Gaming, Macrens TV, Chessy Gaming Plays, and sa YouTube channel natin which is Chessy Gaming. Shoutout sa inyo lahat. You can drop down your comments or shoutouts para ma-shoutout natin yung mga kung saan kayo nanonood. Saang lugar kayo nanonood ngayon. Ingat kayo, medyo maulan ha. Ingat sa biyahe, yung mga pauwi pa lang. And yung mga nakauwi na, anong ulam nyo? Hapunan na.
as we're out of the draft report, like, how or what have they been planning, or how were they?
Ano yung tingin nyo sa sa prod ngayon ng MPL-PH? Okay ba sa inyo? Sa akin mas organized in terms of production ngayon. Maganda yung MPL-PH ngayon, season 14 compare sa sa previous season. Kumbaga kung kaya nila mas ging technical pa in terms of paghimay-himay pa ng mga analysis. Tingin ko mas okay. Yan, sa may nag-question sa natin kung why English broadcast, kasi may mga viewers din tayo from other region like Indonesia, Cambodia, Malaysia. Yan, sa mga nanonood ng mga match-up natin dito sa MPL-PH, shoutout sa inyo sa mga natin, sa mga foreign natin dyan, followers sa iba't ibang region. Shoutout sa inyo lahat. Medyo hindi tayo nakakapag-update sa page natin this past few weeks. Kumbaga, pasulpot-sulpot lang yung mga natin, yung mga highlights natin. Medyo busy tayo sa day job natin Yan, hopefully makagawa ko ng isang baksakan ng mga natin, mga highlights natin. Yung mga game ending match highlights natin. Yung mga last 2 minutes ng mga natin, ng mga MLBB esports. We're waiting sa sa drafting phase for game number 1. Yeah, shoutout sa anak ko kay Yuna. Shoutout kay Yuna, kain ka na dyan. Yay! A naman daw siya, A. Yeah, shoutout kay Yuna. And kay Ate Ada, shoutout sa inyo.
For RSG, I feel like they have a higher chance of showing us something new or exploring a little.
She wants to say hi daw sa inyo. Oh, come here na, say hi to them.
I mean, you do have a point there because RSG Philippines,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, was
Say good. Say good evening po.
Good evening po.
Welcome to Chelsea Gaming.
Welcome to Chelsea Gaming.
Yeah.
And then
Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yan ang aming makulit na anak.
So, when it comes to new picks, maybe RSG are the team that might be doing that more. But I don't think it's going to be the new pick in the sense of something that we haven't seen in a long time, but something that maybe from just the previous meta that we're seeing more.
Yeah,
that
we'll be
sort of fell
back
out, but then
during
we'll
the
pop up
drafting
again.
phase.
And also,
Stay right
This
there.
entire situation isn't that unfamiliar to RSG. I mean, even in previous seasons, we've known RSG to be a team that gets their groove mid-season or like eventually learns how to work their lineup in the latter portions of the season. I could recall previously how we were constantly bringing up the idea of how should RSG play around Kusei? How are they adjusting since they had to replace Kusei again? Previously they were with Eman and now they really had to undergo some adjustments in terms of their lineup. But then they were a team that gradually actually discovered and realized how to do just that. But the difference this time is, again, it lies in the point system that feels like you shouldn't let go of too much games in the beginning of the season. So I feel like even definitely for RSG, they would want to take or start things right now because, as you mentioned, if they do get this, aside from them defeating the so-called team that they consider to be the top, the number 1, then that could also mark the sign that they could continuously gain their momentum from this point onwards.
Yeah, it has to be that way. One of the senior members of a team here in MPL Philippines got to mention to me that teams really saw the league a little bit more differently because of the new point system. There was a lot more leeway with the older system where you can experiment a bit more, but now you can't.
And now, what could be prepared for us? Let's listen in to Coach Pando. What can he say about this entire situation that they're in?
Here was Nats dati, and Nats was really the strong shot caller din. Pero with Nibor always learning from Nats, it didn't really take a long time for him to really adjust the team. So I'm very happy that Nibor is adjusting well, and then I'm 100% confident that he will keep playing well for this season.
I could not count the number of times I saw Coach Panda smiling in that video.
You focused on the fact that the man was smiling.
And the subtitle, of course, the message he was trying to get across.
Okay.
I mean, okay, that was a refreshing sight to see. He's very confident right now in Nibor's capabilities. And coming from himself, Nibor's constantly learning from Nats. So that's one thing we'll have to look out for, especially as knowing RSG. One of the key players we've been looking at for the longest time when it comes to RSG is Nats, and how well they play around like Nats, getting the early game as well in the team.
I think we can actually go back to something that our viewers might be wondering. It's like, where is Nats? How come we're talking to Nats as if he's not here? Yeah, it's because of RSG Philippines.
Para sa RSG Philippines at ilalagay siya sa...
So that's where Nats is now. So that's why Nibor is going to be the one taking charge as the senior EXP laner for RSG Philippines. It's a lot of pressure because RSG PH has always been a team that puts a lot into the responsibilities of their EXP laner, but that's why it's good to see that Coach Panda is confident in the young 16-year-old.
16-year-old? 16-year-old Nibor, we thought that...
Is he 16 already? Because the last time I remember he was 15 when he made his
around
debut.
that number. So we thought Bai Lucy was already young, but there are younger players.
Yeah, Bai Lucy's 23. The rookie that RSG just got is 8 years older than their starting EXP laner.
Okay, I just wanted to feel young because I'm the same age.
Yeah, you're 23. I'm 28.
Okay,
You don't need to feel any younger. All the draft, RSG first picks Zask. If it's not banned, it's pick. If it's not Zask, it's Ling.
Oh wow!
Just pick the Zask.
No Ling, no Ling.
Pick the Zask, and then Kyle TZ will get the Hayabusa or the Julian.
We know the priorities here for both of these teams. Will it be the Zask immediately picked up here by RSG? Why does it feel like they're thinking twice about whether or not they're going to secure?
That got you. Shout out to the ones watching right now.
To all the ones who's watching right now, I'm one of you.
Oh! Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense.
I mean, they've had a very high priority on the Edith for RSG.
But do they really want to give the Zask to few?
So is that a Zask and an assassin? Like the... Or... I don't know, I feel like if you're Falcons AP.Bren, you'd be okay with giving an assassin to RSG since you will be having a safer mid laner, but they don't get the Zask either. They get the Harith and the Phobius instead. So to this point, it's still open. The Hayabusa, the Zask, they're all open.
Yan, we're back.
Might be a Moskov here.
Kumain lang saglit. Yan, we're in the drafting phase.
I think this is a Rome Edith. The early
Let's pick to sa side ng ng RSG. It's Edith, it's either Rome or XP lane. Pero we have here Harit.
I mean, the first time he played last season, it was his
And Phobius ba? Hindi makita, sorry.
Yeah, that got MVP in his debut. But then up against Harith, I wouldn't be so
Tinanggalan dito ng Lin.
The armor's gonna go away quickly.
Pero Hayabusa ang prayo pick dito ni
letting
ni
the
Irad
Hayabusa get into
for
the hands of RSG. So for Falcons AP.Bren, would they be securing a safer mid lane option? Or
yeah, shoutout sa mga viewers natin kung saan kayo nanonood ngayong gabi.
So they're
Stay safe, medyo maulan.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Yan, hopefully
the
Julian, yeah.
Hindi na magtuloy-tuloy yung mga ulan
if they
ngayong
don't
gabi.
get it now, there's a very high chance that they'll be limiting Kyle TZ in terms of hero
they'll be out of assassins. They have to rush to the Julian right now.
Yeah,
Roger gone.
If they don't get it right now, we might just see the Alpha back or the
Nolan.
Nolan.
Magandang matchup
I will apologize. I often forget about Nolan's dad. Because Nolan...
Yeah, shoutout sa mga viewers natin dyan sa YouTube.
In the story.
Welcome to Chelsea Gaming.
Layla. I know he did it to save the world or something, but like... like what Rey Mysterio did to Dominic.
Okay, but both of the mid laners aren't revealed to us yet, so they take out the
Yeah,
Aurora.
shoutout kay Notla. Yes, Naip.
Prioritized as much.
Break na tayo pagkakalang yan.
I think they understand that both teams understand that if they went
Yeah,
into
shoutout sa'yo.
into
Ito,
the Zast, the draft would be a little bit more predictable. So the order's a
Alton?
little bit different.
Alton yung pangalan niya,
teams
Alton.
prioritized.
Yan, shoutout
these are
sa'yo
two
kay
teams that
Macrins,
fight
kay
very
Mark,
well and
kay
understand
John Ray
how
Canla,
long
shoutout
the
sa inyong
fights
lahat.
can go.
Salamat sa
So,
pag-like
Falcons AP.Bren is going
and
for
follow
the
sa
first
ating
round.
live stream.
They do need a hero that can team fight a little bit longer. I like that they banned out the Tigreal here because you're taking away a strong combo for what could have been a great fourth pick for Falcons AP.Bren, which is a Vexana.
And shout kay Mindel. Luluwas na ng luluwas ng Maynila.
But in terms
See
of
you
the
soon,
three
pare.
mid-laners, Vexana, Valentina, Zask are all still open.
Yep,
But both of these teams also play Paramis, that you have to consider.
yeah, and I feel like the Valentina would be a better option for Falcons AP.Bren. Looking at the first 3 picks that both of our
Yan,
teams
kay
have
Mindel
so far
Sereño.
in their lineups.
Shoutout sa'yo, pare.
Because as so
Welcome
far
back sa
in their,
Maynila.
lineups. Because as for RSG, there's not much you could get with the IMU just yet
Yeah.
for Falcons AP.Bren. But then again,
Pero
they
dito,
still
tinanggal
don't
na
have
yung
their roam.
Aurora.
So, still,
And
there's
sino ba
a
to?
possibility that they might just go for that.
Vexana,
But for RSG
Hylos,
Philippines and
and
their last
Tigreal,
battle, they still
mga
need to
setter
roam
natin.
here for Ogwen. The Minotaur, surprisingly, is still available for Ogwen. Not
Yeah.
entirely sure though if they still want to consider that.
I'd rather take out the Grog.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, you already have an Edith with you.
Oh, the Jawhead.
Okay. Yeah. So the lower tier compared to the Jawhead are still available.
Pero dito,
Lolita!
Lolita!
Great counter pick.
Oh.
I wonder if RSG will consider the Esmeralda.
Ganda nga dito balagbagan
But
ha.
even if you look at it, Esmeralda
can?
kind of makes sense.
Yeah, they
Yan,
go for the
we're
Gift Roam, as you
looking for
mentioned.
possible
And then they
XP
secure the Esmeralda. That's a lot of
for
shields.
home sa side ng
Definitely a lot of shields. Just in case.
RSG with
Valentina or Paramis?
mid laner.
If they give the Valentina to Falcons AP.Bren, I feel that could be a lot more difficult for RSG to fight against.
Yeah. So just take the Valentina instead.
Take the Valentina and go for a if not Esmeralda, deny the no, I feel like
Go
this is
for
a
Rizla.
Phobius yeah, deny but this might be Phobius XP lane already, right? Oh!
Oh, Zask and Chu.
Wow. Yeah, these two teams really
Baling
changed up their
edit
drafting
ata
priorities
rito
and
is ano
hazards.
ha, edit na EXP.
Okay.
And we have here Paramis naman
Say
as mid
goodbye
lane
to
ng
the
ano.
Rizla for now.
Side ng
There's
Falcons
so many
AP.Bren.
teams prioritizing the
Napaka-interesting na
Phobius
matchup
today.
to ah.
And it works well. It works well even for
Kumbaga
the
kumuha ng ano yun, ng
here by,
insurance
RSG.
plan. Dito yung ano, yung Falcons
The only thing I'm thinking
AP.Bren.
right now is the Lolita counters a lot of the ranged abilities that
With
RSG
ano,
can
with the
dish
help
out.
of
It could reflect
Paramis.
a lot of what RSG can dish
Yes.
out back to them. So this might be tough.
Yes.
Yan, this
And
is game number 1, match number 2 ngayong araw. This is Falcons AP.Bren versus
Yep, I agree.
RSG PH.
A
As is tayo
well-timed
dito sa, ano, sa
Guardian's
Falcons AP.Bren with Black
Reflection
TC,
puts
Super
no
Marco,
disaster
Cal
here
TC,
for RSG
Ogwen and
Philippines.
Pure.
So they really have to watch
And
out for
gayon,
the timings that
kay
Ogwen
Nibor
will be using
sa XP
and will
lane
be
para
doing
sa
together
side
with
ng
Lolita. They also have a
RSG
Pharah in their
PH.
lineup. There's so many things to watch out for. I can't wait to see the action. So let's now
This is
get over
Chelsea
to our
Gaming,
casters.
Authorized Restreamer partner for
Two
MPL-PH
decorated coaches
Season
alongside their two
14.
highly mechanical junglers. We'll see who's going to prevail. RSG Philippines up against Falcons AP.Bren. Once again, my name is Ingan. Alongside me is Naisu, and as you mentioned, RSG
This is
Philippines
game number
are up
1, mga
against
kaibigan.
Titans.
Yep.
Gods.
Yeah, shoutout sa mga viewers
Yeah.
natin dyan sa Chelsea Gaming Place, kay
Hey,
Macrens
Renmar
TV,
pointed out the
and
panel. Now
sa
you are
ating
here,
YouTube
but
channel na Chelsea Gaming.
That's the thing. Any team that's going
Shoutout
to
sa
go
inyo
against
lahat.
FCAP, like that's essentially
Yeah,
it.
shoutout sa
You know
mga
what you're up against,
ka-squadmate natin sa
and
Vengeance
there's very
Guild.
few teams that come out winning
Pero gandang
against a team
early
like
na
this,
to
and
ah.
we'll see if RSG is able to do that.
Whoa.
Nibor already having to burn the flicker this early on, and that's just with the pressure coming out from this Faramis pick from Fuel.
You know, I actually thought that FCAP was going to go with the Zask and RSG was going to go with the Faramis because we've seen
Gandang
Aqua,
early rotation dito
even
sa side ng
previous
ano, sa side
international
ng
tournaments,
Falcons
has been using
AP.Bren.
this Faramis, has been a key hero with the recent victories. But this time, it's gonna fall in the hands of Fuse. So we can expect...
We will wait for
Falcons
dito,
AP to maybe
yung
group up
early
as
game
passive
na
as
ano,
possible because they're roam
na
a bit
damage na
population
kayang
more
ibigay ng
support
Zask
instead of those aggressive type of heroes.
against sa ano
Yeah,
sa
I'd like to see
Paramis.
this because, you know, Brigida talked about it a little bit on the panel too. The Lolita is a pick that you see only certain teams pick up. You know, it takes a certain
Pero
roamer
Kyle TC,
to make it work.
makatakas pa naman. Ganda ng
Penalties really low
pagkakapok
there, too. I
doon.
don't think anything else is gonna happen. Light
Ito yung
will get some pressure
sinasabi
off.
natin ngayon ng early game advantage na kayang ibigay ng Zask. Kayang mang-poke talaga eh. Pwede rin mang-burst kung nga kailangan. Pero dito, from task ni Bor, ang kanyang tamabaho,
you know, you're going for sets, you're going for some of that
debut
sustainability too for this lineup.
debut game para sa side ng RSG PH.
A contrast to what Shaq knew when he used the Lolita, he was actually using the flicker instead with the battle spell.
Ganda na pasok doon.
Okay, Oakwood. Luckily was there
Light
too.
with
Holds on to
Aqua,
the
ganda ng tandem ng dalawang to ngayon.
Reset up, maybe not.
Contest ba? Pero Flop TZ, Atangking damage, pero Pew from the back. Kyle TC nakuha si Irad. At may bonus pang turtle.
Oakwood picks up a kill of himself. And now for FCAP, huge swing in the favor of
Ganda nung ano na yun, early game clash sa Turtle. Ogwen, humampas dito, Kyle TC, making some follow-up pero makakatakas din si Aqua.
And going back to my point, you'll know Ogwen, his game today, he won't be as aggressive. As much as possible, whenever Kosei or Nimber has the opportunity to free hit, he's just gonna look for them, use that Bulwark Shield, and deflect all the incoming attacks coming in from RSG.
I think that's part of the way that works is just the fact that you don't have to be aggressive. You know, we're gonna take a breather here, of course. But going back to the
Ayan,
point,
technical
you don't actually have
pause.
to be too aggressive if you're Oakwood. I mean, most
Hinga-
times,
hinga lang daw muna.
even in the past, it was like
Hinga lang muna sa ating magkabilang team habang wala pa.
But this time,
Yan, drop your shout-out sa comment section para mabasa natin ngayong gabi. Sino ba dito ang bias nyo? Part ka ba ng Beast? O isa ka sa mga Raiders?
And then it's just you answer RSG and then you put that all together. You lay it on the ground and then you say, all right, we got already a lead.
Yeah, and for the side of RSG, the name of the game for me is that they really have to do those split
The
pushes,
Beast
especially
versus the Raiders.
with what's his name? I'm so
Yan,
sorry.
technical
The guy
pause, scare off,
Kosei, oh yeah.
RSG
The tip of my tongue
PH.
was Kaizen,
I was
okay.
like, okay.
Kosei.
Kosei.
You know they're not gonna go for those clashes because again they have the Nether Realm, they have the Numinum Blast, the Bulwark Shield coming in from Ogwen, so it's gonna be a tough battle for them if they decide to go for those clashes. So instead, I think Kosei really needs to step up here for RSG. Wow. Benefit of going in the
audience?
in the MPL arena.
Yan
flex
we're
your
live
friends.
po both Facebook and YouTube. And
you can
cross-post
also
din tayo sa
ruin your
Macrens
friends.
TV. Yun o.
Hey, familiar face.
Okay, fun fact, I was the one who took that picture.
Oh, you took that picture?
Yeah, yes.
Hey, his hands.
And a lot of people used it because the background was already green, so they inserted Brigida in multiple memes.
Brigida, and now
Kawawa
that
si
she's here on the
Brigida doon,
English,
ah.
the English panel,
Yeah,
she's just gonna get memed further, I think.
yeah, for sure.
You know,
For sure.
she's doing an amazing job with Renmar, of course. Hey, we're just, by the way, we're
Say
just happy
hi.
that we finally get to have a English panel. for
Still
you guys
eating
out there.
ha.
Finally. This is really proof that we
Yan na.
listen.
Back to the ball
We
game.
do, but let's listen to him right now. There's the karate chop.
The
Back
karate
to
chop
the
coming in
ball
from Ducky
game.
2.0.
Mm.
That was the Coach Ducky lookalike.
Shout out to my daughter yan, si Yuna.
Back to the ball game again.
But we're back to the
FCAP
ball
did lead.
game.
We would recap what happened. They were able to get the turtle.
Ganda ng pagkakapasok doon. Light, sipa, Irad. Nakuha si Ogwen doon. Mukhang di pa tapos. Alanganin dito si Pew with Cal TC. Pero back na muna yung call dito ng RSG. Pero hindi pa tapos si Carl. Ganda ng pagkakasilip.
Kyle TZ still on the hunt.
Grabe, palag-palag pa rin.
Good to avoid that kill going in the hands of Kyle TZ.
Okay, that was worth it.
Mukhang kung di na ano, kung bakit kung di na mag-engage yung RSG doon, pumapalag pa yung ano, yung Falcons AP.Bren.
So far, RSG seems to have answers so far. Even if FCAP has a 1.8k gold lead, but right now they're eyeing their attention on Kose. That's why Kose has to be careful, especially since the Moskov, his power spike, you're gonna feel it later on, mid-game or late game.
It's gonna get to that point, but
We have here Flop TZ. Nakita si Aqua rito sa baba. This is the second turtle ng ating bakbakan. Maganda na yung pagkakasecure dito ni Kyle TC. Pero wala nang contest na manggagaling sa mga Raiders.
So I would say RSG, it looks like, you know, they have the idea.
Yeah.
The hard part is actually executing that idea. And if they wait too long,
Ayan, shoutout sa mga viewers natin sa kay Macreds TV, kay Chelsea Gaming Plays. And dito sa ating ano, kung gusto nyo drop yung comment, basa natin yan. Punta kayo sa Chelsea Gaming. Babasahin natin yung mga comments nyo. Pero Super Marco, ang ganda na pagkakapasok doon ni Irad.
Okay. Got that little bit of shield, of course, to help him out, stay alive, but
napakainit doon ni Irad, pero dito sa top lane natin, alanganin sila dito with the damage sa kayang ibigay dito ni Kautisi. Teres po rito si Aqua. Kaya bang habulin?
Kautisi's just around the corner so they don't risk it.
50 seconds short of the flicker from Light. If he had that flicker, for sure he's gonna cast it onto Flapteasy, but Ogwen on the other hand. This is
nahihirapan dito ang ano later sa ano natin during na mamaya sa Lord natin. Yung front line na Uy! Yung front line na kayang ano gawin ng ano dito ng RSG. Mape-prevent mamaya ng Lolita. Kumbaga, iilang eh. Hihintayin mo lang bumitaw muna ng ano dito, ng ultimate yung Lolita bago sila pumasok. Kasi ang alanganin doon, pagpasok nila during clashes, paghampas ng Lolita, kuha silang lahat. Possible sila mapitas lahat.
And you never know what you can pick off with that. So, but right now, it's still the question of, can RSG stop objectively what FCAP is doing? And, you know,
play safe muna sa side ng RSG PH.
They talk about their prowess as a macro level play style. And you're seeing it kind of unfold here.
I actually like what RSG did.
Maganda na nag-switch lane dito si Nibor.
Kose decided to swap lanes.
Swap lanes sila dito si Nibor. And Kose, makakatama ba? Ganda nun! Pero Kyle TC pa rin nakasecure ng turtle. Super Marco na uwa si Light. Unti-unting umahabol dito. Maiikot si Nibor. Nibor is also down. Tatlo ang nakuha. Sorry, dalawang nakuha doon ng ano ng Falcons AP.Bren plus that turtle. Napakagandang early game para side ng Falcons AP.Bren with 4K gold lead against RSG PH.
Super Marco's probably one of the most chill gold laners.
Super chill.
He just sits there locked in, and it just looks like it's just another day for Super Marco.
Do you know those memes where Flapteasy goes wild, Kyle TZ goes wild, and then they pan to Super Marco? Super Marco's like
he's just just locked in.
Like Super Marco's the one with most kills, the one with the recent maniac, but Flapteasy's the one who's wild, shouting.
Yeah, Flapteasy takes enough energy to apply that to Super Marco at this point.
Yeah. But on the other hand, though, whenever they do TikToks, it's actually Super Marco initiating with Flapteasy and Pando, which is a weird fact. So you know Super Marco still wants to enjoy whatever they plan on doing. But Light with knock-up here.
Oh, that's tough. He's going to get slowed down and stunned. We'll be fine. Pop still can seal still. They might look for a re-engage here. Shadow Kill already going to be used. Irad could be in trouble as Aqua is going to be the first to fall. FCAP wants the fight. As Super Marco will pick up the kill on Irad, 2 down for RSG.
That moment rather was one of the best moments.
Kasi dito alanganin na with Flapteasy, kate.
Up well. Super Marco didn't even have to use the conceal because there's no knock-up. There's no pin down for RSG.
We have here the early game advantage na nakuha dito ng ano na Falcons AP.Bren.
Yeah, at this point,
we're waiting here sa ano sa pick-up na pwedeng ibigay ni Light or even kay Nibor. The problem is pag pumasok yung front line ng RSG PH, may nakaabang na Lolita.
So Lord in the hands of FCAP. And remind
FCAP
you, if you guys
secures
missed
the
panel
first
section,
Lord
they
na
were
walang
talking about
contest
it.
galing sa mga
How
readers.
easy number one in so many stats here.
Pero
You can see
alanganin
why.
si Light dito.
Light
Ganda ng vision
is
play.
going out,
Pero
trying to
makakatakas
sound
ba?
danger. And they gotta worry about the defense now against this Lord push.
Light
First
is
Lord,
safe.
You'd expect RSG to be able to defend this, not suffer any inhibitor turret losses, but with FCAP, how they're playing right now, Kyle TZ still manages to stay alive, but they expended the Nether Realm though.
Yeah, they get that out. Dominator's Descent going to be used too, and RSG at this point, given the deficit here, given the gap, I'm wondering if they can still hold on in this game
Trying
and not
to
have it
defend
end
here.
after that first Lord
Medyo
push. Right now, though,
naiipit
FCAP,
na.
the lead they have,
Lumiliit ang mapa
they're surely
dito
gonna
ng
play into
RSG
these base
PH.
turrets here of RSG.
Okay, Irad wants to look
Mukhang
for a
ang objective ngayon dito ng ano ng Falcons AP.Bren kunin lahat ng tore and to limit the rotation na kayang gawin dito ni Light.
Onto the middle lane, but not enough damage.
Not enough damage, and now they're
Pick
going to force
vision
the fight.
play, pero
Irad
Kyle
will be
TZ
taken out,
nakakuha si Irad
sniped out by
doon.
Kyle TZ under the base turret.
Grabe,
Lord Fire
pinasok
getting
ni
worked on,
Kyle
but
dun
now
si, ano, si
holding on to
Irad.
Just a one tier 2 in the mid lane. It's going to be pushed by this wave.
Base
for
turret na
FCAP.
lang dito ang matitira
And now
sa side
they're
ng
up to the base
RSG
turrets here.
PH.
8.8k gold lead for Falcons.
The question is, kaya pa bang depensahan to?
Irad not in the picture yet. Owen still has his ultimate, so they can actually
Ba-
force this to get inhibitor turret.
Alanganin dito, di makapasok. Nababurst,
Already dropping
Lolita.
down the Numenor Blast.
Boom,
2
Numenor
Dominator's
Blast.
Descent.
Pero
Will be able
hindi
to get
sapat
some
lang
space to
TC,
work
nakuha
around
na
with,
yung
but the turret goes
base,
down.
base
And that,
tower sa
just
top
like
lane.
that, FCAP can continue to layer down those ultimates and
Alanganin
force
dito.
RSG back. They don't want to fight FCAP.
Mahihirapan dito. Nasa longer lane dito. Yung basag na tore, which is yung top lane. We're under a minute for the next Lord.
Okay, let's just give up the inhibitor turret on the top
Kaya
lane.
dito ano, mag-apply ng pressure sa top lane habang ano, kino-contest dito ng Lord ng ano ng Falcons
What
AP.Bren.
is not working here? And I mean, like when we look at all of this, the past
Kumbaga, it's
11
either
minutes, what's going
may
on for
mag-push sa
RSG?
top and bumalik. Isang member ng ano na RSG or magpo-commit dito yung magkabilang team.
FCAP is really working as one unit.
Para sa dating na
Same
Lord.
as what we've seen with Fnatic Onic last series wherein they rotate as one. 5 members rotating all throughout the map. It's hard for Cho. It's hard to play as a Cho if you're up against a team that's like has one mind.
Not only that, I mean, the one mind, the
Start
synergy that
na,
FCAP
we
has,
have
but
here
you're
5
playing a
seconds
Cho
for
into
the
this
next
lineup
Lord.
alone. You know, it's even if
Light,
Light tries to
gandang
find a
vision
pick
pa na binibigay
what's
sa
he
side ng
gonna do?
RSG, pero Pew and Ogwen, ang gandang frontline dito ng Falcons AP.Bren.
Because apart from the group up coming in
Ganon
from,
kabilis,
Falcons
Blitz
AP.Bren,
Lord.
whenever Irad cast that Wiki Shadow Kill, even onto one member, Fuse always there to cast that Nether Realm.
Ganon kabilis nakuha ng Falcons AP.Bren. This might be the game-ending moment na hinihintay natin para sa mga bees.
Still working on the turret. RSG
Pero
will do
bala
everything
kunin
they
dito
can to
ng
hold
Falcons
on.
AP.Bren
But once that
yung
Lord
tore,
makes its way
pero
to the
walang
top side,
minions.
you're gonna do the same exact thing. You're to see the pressure put on.
Napakahirap
Ogwen dropping down
para
the
sa
Numenor Blast.
side ng
Kyle TZ might
RSG.
even just
Depensahan
want to
tong
punch
Lord
into
na
the
to.
base and flap TZ as well. So tanky here.
Marching on the top lane.
He's still the one above all. Kyle TZ holds the highest average.
Grabe
Lord
si Kyle
kills last
TZ dito,
season
no?
with
Highest average.
4. And now FCAP marching on the
Lord,
middle
ganda
lane.
ng bloom.
Numenor Blast coming down once
Pero
again just
wala,
to cover
pero
the
gandang
turret.
napaatras
Lord's still
dun.
up here. RSG has to deal with that and the full
Kumbaga,
force of
merong ano eh,
FCAP
tawag
with a
nun,
major
warning
lead.
shot.
They're gonna clear out the Lord.
Ganda, bilis na pagkakali ng Lord, pero yung ano, warning shot na kayang ibigay ng Lite. Imbes na aabante at gumawa ng pick o play dito yung side ng RSG na pepper-bait ng Lolita.
Okay, they still have enhanced minions marching into the bottom lane, and I think they can actually force
Pero
another push
Flap
here. But look,
TC,
Flap
ganda na
going in
pagkakapok
right
dun
after
kay Light.
The Clash not yet gonna pursue here, but
This will be the last tower na meron ang RSG, pero ala Luminon,
Blast gonna find
boom!
the target, and they're gonna be possibly looking for more. Light in trouble too.
Is
FCAP
down kay
doesn't have the waves to push in just yet. They gotta clear it out and wait for it.
Dahan-dahan, walang minion waves
Bottom
dito.
top, still
Ang
pushing in.
Falcons AP.Bren, pero
down
sabay-sabay
one
to.
member as
From
FCAP,
all
12,000
sides
gold ahead.
of the
will look
map.
to close out their game in
Pagkokomite dito ang
dominant
Falcons
fashion.
AP.Bren,
Flap TZ
pumasok
jumps
na.
into Infernal Pursuit.
Flap TZ
The
from
base
the back,
with the
binigyan ng
Nether Realm and
space
everything
dito
else
ang
will fall
members
into
ng
place.
Falcons
Escosay
AP.Bren.
tries to keep the map A from ending it, but
Falcons
it's just too
AP.Bren
much
secures
as
game
FCAP takes
number
game 1
1.
dominantly.
Another day in the office for the Bees with a clean, perfectly executed game number 1 as they take down RSG Philippines.
Almost, again, you know, I know it wasn't a quote-unquote perfect game, but one hell of a game for FCAP.
One hell of a game that the panelists have to analyze. That's why let's throw it over to our lovely panelists. Take it away.
It felt like Falcons AP.Bren just did everything by the book.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything more than what they were expected to do. Just kept waiting for RSG Philippines and answered back better than how RSG wanted to go after them.
Yeah, like what I told you behind the scenes, RSG Philippines started off their draft with the best hero for longer team fights.
Yeah.
The Edith is, there's a reason why she's prioritized. Why in the last series she was frequently banned out. While Falcons AP.Bren answered back with their last pick being one of the best heroes for long team fights. That is also their signature pick that helped them win a world championship.
Yeah, and mind you, it wasn't, I think it was less than 5 times where we saw the Nether Realm used in that entire match. And the one time, or the last time we did, was just to force the game, just to force the end of the game. It was just to end it. And for like majority of the team fights which we've seen again, there were just so much space created here. And who else would benefit from that amount of space if not the number one, that no-land gameplay we've seen from Kyle TZ. 304 on KDA, but again, that was a very low-scoring game.
Yeah, pretty much all the objectives, all turtles went to him. I really thought that there were like 2 or 3 retribution battles that he would lose, but no, he won it.
No.
And it happened, like this result happened because Falcons AP.Bren were winning those turtles. This one, I thought they would lose it.
Yeah.
Nope, just at the right time, Kyle TZ was able to first blood the Hayabusa, and then they get the turtle, then they continue it. So it was first blood plus 2 kills, and then they snowballed from there. This one, I also thought, hey, Falcons AP.Bren doesn't look like they're going to get it. Nope, Kyle TZ still gets it.
Yes, and for these 2 turtle objective highlights which we've seen, it felt like Flap TZ was just throwing himself towards RSG each and every time.
Yeah, and because we mentioned this, there's no direct answer to the phobias if you're RSG Philippines.
Yep, no burst and no clear sources of damage in the early stages of the game. Our English casters mentioned or put a highlight on the Revitalize earlier, but then it was unnecessary for Ogwen in this situation to actually consider the flicker or whatnot. They just really wanted to support one another and focus on sustaining or prolonging the team fights, as you would say.
Yeah, that's a full heal and shield Lolita. Klaska the Oasis wanted to give more shielding for himself, so he went for the Blood Wings.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to double check if that's accurate, folks. But yeah, that's a full heal Lolita. Even went with favor as the roam boot spell that you mentioned.
Yes.
And then the Revitalize. That's an Estes with a shield. That's an Estes with a shield when you think about it.
That's an Estes with a setup.
Yeah, that's an Estes with a setup plus a Faramis.
Yeah, literally the Lolita pickup here by Ogwen answered so much for RSG. Each and every time Light or even Nibor would want to chase after Falcons AP.Bren, he could just use the Numenon Blast to prevent them from coming or getting any closer. And even during times wherein RSG just wants to position themselves around the objectives, the Numenon Blast could just be casted in wherever they might consider to be an entry point, and they would be completely denied of access to to all those objectives that we previously talked about. And we've seen this recurring situation happen for majority of the game. That was a very quick game, and so I'm not surprised that Light here had to take up a majority of the damage. It seems like every time Light attempted to go in, it would either be a punish onto him, or Falcons AP.Bren would gain access to the other members of RSG, which eventually led them to this snowball game.
Okay, I had to remind myself as to why Lolita would build magic, but then I'm reminded that, yes, Numenon Energy Core,
Yep.
her passive, it scales off of magic power. 60% of the total magic power that you have increases the shield. So it's rough for RSG Philippines.
Yeah.
They went into this, I feel like, with the right mindset. I feel like Edith first picks are undervalued. They can be really surprising for teams to go up against. But even more surprising is Falcons AP.Bren had surprises. We mentioned this earlier. Like, RSG Philippines might be the team that go with surprises more. But it was Falcons AP.Bren who decided to go with a hero that, yes, we see, but just maybe fell out a bit or played differently. So it's a full heal Lolita, scaling with magic power, giving the shields. I feel like we are one step closer to seeing Hanabi. I like how you already knew where I was going.
Yeah, I was already thinking of it earlier, but I was worried if it would show up here in MPL. But then, looking at the trend that's happening so far, the Harith earlier, it seemed untouchable. Like, on its own, it generates a decent amount of shields, but paired up with this Lolita, focused on the Flask of the Oasis, the Bloodwings, the Holy Crystal, pick up from Ogwen. This brings me back to how we considered Ogwen to be one of the most unpredictable and flexible roamers.
Unpredictable is a better word.
Yeah, I mean, we would recall previously how whenever he takes the Minotaur, you wouldn't be sure if he'd be going on a full tank Minotaur or will he be slightly leaning towards the more sustained focused type of Minotaur by getting the Flash first item. But for now, I feel like we should hear from our audience here in the MPL Arena. So for now, let's throw it over to our host, Mari Aquino.
We have a special guest today kasama natin, Coach Ren. We've missed you. How have you been?
I'm good.
Napaka-formal mo. Napaka-formal mo. Saan ka galing? Kasi ano to, may nakita ko meron siyang folder nandito, may ID. Where'd you come from?
Actually, I have an appointment in DFA today. For
may
passport renewal, yeah.
Lilipad ka ulit?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Hindi pa sure eh.
Hindi pa sure. Okay, so the last time I saw you, you were there for MSC.
Yep, as an analyst for Team Spirit.
Okay, are you gonna go back there? Is that why? Ano bang inside scoop natin dito?
Actually, I've been flying frequently to EECA
To EECA.
because I've been working there.
So you're in demand sa EECA.
Not really. Siguro fortunate lang na na-hire nila ako.
Pwede ba natin sabihin kung anong team or not yet? Not yet.
Okay lang naman.
Anong team?
Team Spirit.
Team Spirit pa din. Coach, hindi mo ba namimiss yung Pilipinas?
Na-miss din, syempre. Kasi mas highly competitive yung MPL dito.
Kamusta ba doon? Kwento naman.
It's a developing region, much like when we had first MPLs way before. So sa kanila, season 4 pa lang. Kaya you can say
okay.
na paumpisa pa lang talaga sila lahat.
So how is it like yung language barrier? Kasi not everybody speaks English there, right?
Yes. Actually, yun yung challenge sa akin sa being a foreign coach is comprehension sa amin ng team ko. Kasi they speak Russian and there's little English that they can speak.
Pero nandun si Kid Bomba, di ba?
Yes.
So he's so friendly. Like, we love him.
Well, he's friendly and he is full of energy, actually.
So kamusta siya? Like, does he help you out? Kasi he speaks English.
Yeah, actually, he's my assistant coach for the team.
Okay.
So he talks a lot. He speaks very frequently as well, very fluently of English.
Okay, imbitahan naman natin yung ating mga manonood na suportahan ang journey mo with Team Spirit.
Ayun, I invite everyone to support EEC region, particularly my Team Spirit. We are on our way to on our road to M6.
Coach, don't be a stranger. Always visit us. We love having you here. Now we're gonna throw it back to the panel. Tulungan mo naman ako. Pwede ka bang mag-A muna dyan? A. Okay, throw natin sa panel. Panel? Pasok.
Pasok.
Okay. That was almost in sync.
Yeah.
Almost.
No, He came from a different time zone.
Okay.
So he was in ECA with Team Spirit, you know,
Right.
the difference in time zone.
Right,
so
yeah. So earlier he revealed to us that he's still staying with Team Spirit. He's coaching a team from ECA. So to this day, we're seeing a lot of coaches all around the world. But for now, let's talk to the Franco mains out there. It's your time to shine because the new MPL exclusive skin, Quantum Vanguard, is now available at the shop. You know what? This skin actually reminds me a lot of Johnson or... It seems very
Johnson?
futuristic. Yeah, it looks
Oh,
like a...
yeah, no, because a lot of the MPL skins are like that. Remember the
Yeah.
1-1 skin? Who was the other one? Benedetta.
Kadita.
The Kadita, the Benedetta.
Uh-huh.
The Benedetta.
Yeah, but
Sorry,
maybe...
I love the Benedetta skin so much. Continue the
You
show.
mentioned it twice or thrice.
Thrice.
I don't know, but maybe it's because of the build. I don't know, they're quite similar. But anyway,
The shorts.
at the same time, for the MPL Arena, for all those together with us right now, it's time for the
Ay,
Smart
walang iba
gameplay
kundi si
pose.
Kyle TZ.
It's like the power of Smart. So they just have to copy the pose that they're seeing from our pro player right now. Right now, it's Kyle TZ with this. I don't know what pose this is. How do you call this pose even?
He even had the eyes down.
Even the eyebrows.
Even the eyebrow.
And that is a performance very much deserving of a winner.
Yeah.
So congratulations to you and your eyebrows and all your perfectly captured expressions of Kyle TZ's assets here. I was thinking of a name to call the pose, but he caught me off guard. He was
Yeah.
too accurate. Even I couldn't do that.
Oh, wait, that's pretty good. That's pretty.
No, I can't manage my eyebrows. Can you?
I can.
Oh, you can.
Yeah.
But why do you do it with two hands?
No, 'cause I was just fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I hope we kind of got the pose as well. There are a lot of interesting poses done by our
Players, yeah.
pro players, even haircuts, I'd say. Every now and then, they change their hairstyles. I mean,
It's a pro player thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like when you're in a good stable job,
Oh, yeah.
let's be real, you make pretty good money.
You know how...
Spend it on hair.
Yeah. You know how previously in other international tournaments, a lot of pro players decided to go semi-bald or something.
Semi-bald. Really?
Right? Like,
I don't
you
know.
remember seeing, who's that again? Udil? And then
Oh, yeah.
Chewe? We're seeing, like,
That's true.
new hairstyles.
When are you gonna go, semi-bald?
Let's see.
I
I'm
think
thinking
it-
about it.
Yeah, I think it's a good look for you.
Okay.
You ever watched Mad Max? you would make a great Furiosa.
Okay, maybe next season. No,
Okay, yeah,
no,
all right,
I won't.
all
I
right,
won't do that.
all right,
I
clip
won't do
that.
that. No, I
Clip
won't do
that.
that. I won't do that. Not unless we get a prediction battle and we put challenges on the line again. But I would not.
Yeah, but the
I'd
last time
rather
that
not
happened,
that-
you lost in SBS, so...
That reminded me of Rose and her "I cut my hair short" challenge.
Yeah, and Gideon wore it as a
And
wig.
oh yeah, he posted it. So that was an interesting way to wear the hair. All right, but then, okay, the losing team, not the losing team, the winning team, or Falcons AP.Bren, they are still proceeding with the blue side, and now will RSG open up those assassins?
Kaya naman excited ako.
Priority assassins once more up against Kyle TZ. I feel like we will be seeing no lings for Falcons AP.Bren this time. And since they're the ones on the blue side, could they potentially be prioritizing the Zas or still no?
Right. Cap.
Maybe not.
The only one down.
Oh no!
We're gonna be double checking the sides, because right now we have Coach Trevor going up against Coach Ducky. That ain't right.
Oh wait,
Let's just double check. If I'm not mistaken, it should be RSG
on the blue side
blue side.
should be.
Yeah. We'll see.
That actually surprised me quite a bit as
Yeah.
well.
But let's read it as it is. So the Phobias, Jushin, and Harith gets taken away. RSG is on the red side because they banned the chip.
Yeah.
Only red side teams ban chips, so...
Wait.
Yeah.
So you mean to say it's Falcons AP.Bren banning out the Phobius themselves?
Yes. They're still respecting Nibor, who
So we're right.
played a really good game
Uh-huh.
earlier. Yeah. So it's Falcons AP.Bren on the blue side.
All right. So that's settled. It's still Falcons AP.Bren on the blue side. They banned the Zask instead, so the lane is open here for Falcons AP.Bren. But they won't pick that up just yet. They prioritize the high loss. So actually right now that I'm thinking of it, even the Ruby is still open.
Yeah.
Just in case they'd want to go for that. But then this high loss is already in the hands of Falcons AP.Bren. That might make things a little bit awkward.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, as we mentioned earlier, not a lot of EXP laners can actually match the high loss in the lane. Like, there's a reason why even I myself, a measly MPL Philippines analyst, when spamming high loss, does really good in EXP lane, no matter who I'm up against.
Oh.
Because that's easy mode. He's easy mode right now. No joke.
I cannot confirm nor deny, but I agree. Oh! Wait. So if we're seeing this right, this is an Irad Fanny,
Yeah.
and they still get their hands on the Edith. So will they, or will Falcons AP.Bren consider the Ruby this time, or does that reveal too much about their lineup since they already picked up the high loss?
Yeah, go ahead pick up the lane. The lane's still open.
The Ling
Yeah.
and
You gotta match the assassin, then have lockdown. You can either go Cho. If that's too early for you, go Grok. If you don't want to go Roam yet, you go mid.
oh, they go for the Faramis and the Ling. Okay,
So they
so
go mid and lane.
I now am fully convinced that this is indeed a Falcons AP.Bren signature pick right now.
Yeah.
They're one of the few teams who still consistently decide to pick up the Faramis regardless of all the emerging mid laners. But again, there's no Zask and Zushin available or up for grabs for both of these teams. But either way, right now for RSG Philippines, do they look for an answer, an immediate answer to the presence of a Ling? Or do they leave that for later and stay flexible with the Lights Heroes? The Chu is still available as well if they want to proceed with that.
They can get their gold laner now, so that they don't have. They can just play the gold laner banning game for the second phase.
Oh,
They go Jawhead.
so
Okay, Jawhead into the link. Makes sense.
That's-
That's the old response.
uh-huh.
Like a season 8 signature. One team picks Ling, the other team picks Jawhead.
That's a major lockdown and hunt
Yeah.
on the Ling. It can force out the
Oh,
Tempest of
no.
Plays every now and then, but then if you get punished, that's
Yeah.
a very difficult situation.
I have a theory that I want to test.
What's that?
What if Falcons AP.Bren might consider an EXP lane glue later on?
Oh!
What if the high loss goes into the roam for Ogun, which is not bad,
Not bad. That's not bad. I agree.
and then they go
Hope
glue
will find a
for their
way,
EXP lane.
even when all is
They're taking
forlorn.
away the Vixana. They have the Faramis on their side.
All right.
If they ban a Terizla, I'm gonna say they're picking glue. If they don't ban it, I feel like it's still a chance.
Okay. And Falcons
Oh no, I'm sorry,
AP.Bren
they don't need to ban Terizla. They already have
Yeah,
a
yeah,
Legion
yeah.
on the other side, so yeah.
And Falcons AP.Bren potentially bringing out the glue isn't something entirely impossible.
Yeah.
We've seen the Flap TZ on this hero multiple times now, and that might just make this job for Light 10 times harder.
Yeah.
Because if there's a presence of a glue with a split who could like divert their attention every now and then,
Yeah.
or even for the potential marksman here of RSG Philippines, if they decide to go for a single target marksman, such as the carry, it might not work that
Yeah.
well. But then, of course, it still depends on RSG on what they're going to plan to pick up.
They need more magic. I think they could go Lilia for their mid lane because it was either Lilia or Aurora, but Falcons AP.Bren banned out the Aurora. They could go Lilia if they.
Oh.
Okay, then they go Moscow. Yeah, they definitely need more magic damage.
They're
Yeah,
saving.
the blue.
They're saving Aqua's pick for like. Oh, I just remembered. Aqua used to be someone who kept using the Faramis as well.
Yeah.
But then now.
I wonder if it could be another Lolita game.
Oh no! The
Right?
Edith and the Moskov both are again in RSG Philippines' hands.
Yeah.
So we're deciding whether or not we want the Lolita again or the glue to happen in this game.
And now
Because both
we're
are
back.
possible. They could be potential
Yeah,
pickups.
this is
but for
Chelsea
Super,
Gaming. This is
for
game
Super
number
Marco's Hero
2.
here. Oh, the Brody.
Oh, it's been a while.
I mean, I
The
think we
signature
often see the Brody whenever there's a Fanny.
hero
But to think it would
ng
happen
Falcons AP.Bren, we have
again
here with the Brody.
today, wow, it feels like it's really been a while. And the ground, okay. So,
Ano to?
they will
Bakbakan ng ano?
proceed with a roamer who could
Bakbakan
potentially
ng
match
blue buff.
the aggression and the presence that light on the jawhead can
Baka
offer
isi-secure
all around
palagi
the map. He
or
will
ano,
not be afraid
aagawin
of sticking
ng
with or
Falcons AP.Bren yung
scouting
blue buff
light
dito ng
every
ano,
now and then as the
ng
Groxus
RSG.
can immune himself. And now, the
Kumbaga,
Valentina finishes
once na
up the
lala,
lineup
checkmate
for
na kaagad
RSG
yun eh.
Philippines. They have quite a lot
Baga
of
hindi na
ultimates
battle
here
ba
that
turtle
they can get
ang labanan
from
dito eh.
Falcons AP.Bren.
The battle for the blue
The
buff.
Valentina is a really great last pick. I am surprisingly leaning a little bit more towards RSG PH. Problem is right now, can they cross it into the later portions of the game?
Yep.
The early game doesn't look fun for Falcons AP.Bren. If RSG Philippines can level out the scaling, or could
Yeah,
just shut
Super
down the scaling
Marco,
altogether
Brody, Ling,
so that they can have an
Pekal,
earlier mid to late game power
Paramis,
spike, that's good
Ogwen,
for
which
RSG.
is high loss.
It's not just
And
the
Grack
assassin matchups
para kay
of
Plat,
both of these junglers that we
Valentina,
have to watch
Aqua,
out for coming into game
Jawhead
number
for
2.
light,
Let's see what's
Fanny
going to
for
happen between
Irad,
both of these
Edith,
teams. Let's throw it over
Guy,
to our casters,
Libor,
Igan and Nice.
and Moskov.
One above all versus the one for an eye. Kyle TZ versus Irad. Two mechanically gifted junglers.
Bakbakan na this.
For game number 2. Naisu, do you think this is a sweep?
The question, and it looks like we're gonna have to wait to go in a little bit further. But
Technical pause muna.
I like how you were building it up. You're just like, so you think it's gonna be a sweep? So,
Nadali tayo dun ah.
Curveball
you know
there.
what?
Ayan,
Yeah,
technical
that's all
pause
right.
muna.
You know, I will
Hinga muna
say
tayo
this.
lahat
I
bago
was thinking that it was gonna
magbakbakan.
be a sweep.
Double naman tayo magbakbakan ng dalawang to.
You know, as you can hear, I don't know if it's coming through the stream, but the power of these screens out here in the
In
audience
fairness,
is very-
maganda yung ano yung
We're
seat count
suddenly
dito ng
full
ano
house. Naisu. Man,
ng
I'm
Falcon
rooting
City
now
at saka
for game
RSG.
number 3. 'Cause game number 1, a lot of people
Ate
were
Chantel
here
Burger
game
ang
number
tingin.
1. Okay, Ate Chantel Burger ang tingin.
What
So,
are you gonna translate that for
Yeah.
our English audience?
it means look at the burger. It's actually a meme from one of our rising P-pop groups, Beanie. Because they were, I can't say the name by the way. I can't say the name of the,
Alright.
never mind.
Well, anyway. Hi,
Ayan, hi
classmates.
classmates. Hindi pumasok yata yun ah.
By the way, I'm here. Oh,
That looks
Wow,
like
with
that's
Pan, with Mara.
yep.
Sana all.
You know, me,
Ayan, shoutout sa mga viewers natin. Diyan sa
Okay,
McLean's
let me ask you
TV.
this. You asked me a heated question. What would you, I don't know if this is heated, what would
Okay.
you throw up on your camera out there?
me,
Yeah.
I would throw.
This is game number 2 ah. Game number 1 napunta sa ano yun ah, sa Falcons AP.Bren.
Thirst trap picks.
Naghahabol pa rin dito ng puntos ang Raiders.
Oh, shout out to you. Shout out to, of course, to our official restreamers, by the way.
Yeah.
I've been seeing a lot across all social media platforms. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And look at this. I think that's by Lucy.
Uy,
Oh,
salamat sa pag-shoutout sa atin
shout out
ni,
by the way for the
yan.
newest
Must be his
edition.
Yung mga
of
authorized
RSG Philippines
streamers.
by Lucy, currently 23 years old. Speaking of age, Nibor again is only 16 years old. So far,
Bata ni Nibor ha.
for RSG's
16 lang pala si
As we
Nibor.
head on back to game number 2. Again, looking at the assassin
Batang ano,
matchup,
batang
it's
batak.
Kyle TZ's Ling versus Irad Zafani.
I'm gonna go back to my point here when you asked me. So I was thinking it'd be a sweep. Now I have to side with my fellow Bear Bro over there on the panel. Hold on, early. Okay, no,
Oh, ganda na pagkakaano doon.
But
Pero hindi,
hold on,
ganda rin ng
so
ano.
low. Light's in trouble now. Okay,
Light.
they get the flicker out. Good.
Napagamit
So I
ng
know first
resources
blood there.
doon,
Because I'm
napaflicker.
going back to the point of
Para
I
makaiwas.
actually like the lineup for RSG. Depending on my one asterisk here.
Ganda ng pagkakadiling dito ni
Aqua
ano ni
does with
Baptizo
Falcon.
ah.
Like if he's able to go ahead and get some key ultimates, whether that's Flap, whether it's Ogwen even, whether it's Few, then that could change the course of these fights already early on for this You can see it happening here. Few goes in, gets the stampede off.
Libor, Plaptisi, Ekaltisi. Ganda na pagkakano doon.
And that's the first blood.
First blood care of
Okay, so I
Light.
was supposed to say for me, my asterisk would be Light. Because again, Jawhead is a snowball-reliant hero. Not necessarily that hero alone, but if you have a Jawhead as much as possible, you want to control the early game.
Mukhang slow pace yung balak gawin dito ng RSG PH.
Yeah, early pick off. That's exactly
Mukhang nadali sila kanina during during first game kanina.
Matchup alone, you know, in the XP lane. We're gonna have to see how
Kumbaga,
they utilize this XP.
Iwas muna sa aggressive play ang call dito ng RSG PH.
If he's able to build up and scale up on this.
Pero in terms of rotation kasi maganda yung dito galawan ng isang pangi compare sa Ling.
And you can cap out on that, and that's great for them. We'll see if they pull it off.
Kumbaga, pwedeng in-out play yung kayang gawin dito ni Irad. The problem is, wag lang mananakawan ng buff si Irad.
Because majority of the games so far are one-sided, so...
That is not a stat that I would want to do against FCAP. Or Kyle TZ, what did he say? He had like 17 out of 21 turtles. You know, I'm not sure, again, if that's
checking here,
accurate, but I know
Kyle
something
TZ.
like that.
Pero kuha ng blue buff dito si Irad. Vision play lang muna ang ginagawa ng magkabilang team.
Still have the Grok and the Hylos that could actually be the good frontliners here up against a very ecstatic lineup from RSG.
Kanina isa sa malaking problema na kinaharap ng RSG is front line. Walang makapasok sa front line doon kasi inaabang lagi ng Lolita.
Our two junglers are present though, so I think we're gonna have a
Ngayon naman is, nandito si Ogwen with the Hylos din ulit. Baga yung early team fight na kaya ding ibigay ng isang Hylos with Plaptisi ba? Kumbaga kayang i-lockdown dito ng Falcons AP.Bren yung RSG later on this match.
Another reset of the turtle. I think the only thing that both of these junglers fought for was the Little Wanderer that Irad got. Yeah. So right now, it's really basically a chess match because anything can go with the first turtle. But look at this! Oh my goodness!
Whoa!
Irad makes the play.
That was a Grok!
Grabe ang bilis.
Onto Plaptisi. Irad's gonna get a kill, but Light on the other hand.
Okay, Purifier gonna be used. Few in trouble here. Gets knocked
Light
into the air.
nakuha si Pew.
Light picks up another kill.
Dahan-dahan na, pero Irad nakuha doon ng turtle.
RSG off to a great start.
Gandang simula doon pa side ng RSG against Falcons AP.Bren. Nakuha ng kill. May kasama pang turtle.
Go to a game 3.
It's too early to tell, but
Kaya ba? Kaya bang dalhin ng Raiders to game number 3? So tatapusin na ng Falcons AP.Bren to have a sweep.
With that, even taking a look at the items here, you can already see Irad has a nice little lead. It's nothing too crazy, but he's playing around the fact that he can rely on, you know, you have Nabor here, you have Light just scaling up really well. You know, Light, even with the 2 early kills, gives him a little bit of an advantage to work around in his setups.
Yeah, and even on the XP lane, you can see a clear advantage here for Namor. Picks up the what item is that?
What?
My favorite item so far as a roamer in XP lane.
An favorite as
the color
a
blue one. Wait.
Blade of Hepsies.
No.
Thunderbelt.
Thunderbelt.
I'm like playing charades here.
Thunderbelt ba sa roamer sa Just XP lane?
Because it's such a good item again, especially as a first core item. You get your stacks that you accumulate turns into hybrid defense, and that hybrid defense in turn turns into additional damage, or is it additional damage or true damage?
True damage, yeah.
Yeah, true damage, yeah. So it's really a good pick off here for Nibor. And speaking of Nibor, you know, I've been noticing even during the previous tournaments, international tournaments,
Irad, ganda na position dun, ha?
Edith a lot.
Oh, there's the toss-up.
Whoa,
the
pagkakahagis.
there, but Kaltizi is going to get away instead. That's a lot of burst. Spirit Destruction going to land.
Ganda na pagkakahagis din ni Light.
RSG will go ahead.
Pero bakbakan na sa purple buff.
The jungle. There's the toss-up once again. This time around, Friday
Netherrealm.
into his pathway. Netherrealm going to proc as well, and FCAP
Pero alanganin dito sa damage with Nibor. Owen, sinasalo lahat ng damage. Gamit ng isang edit.
So a trade for RSG
Pero
as they
yung
got the
bottom
lane
lane nakakuha
turret.
na.
But so far so good.
Ni Kosei.
They forced FCAP to retreat instead of getting that second turtle. And that was a good initiation from Light. He threw away Flapteezy, but props as well for Flapteezy for disrupting the Earth Shatter coming in from Nibor. And this time, Falcons AP.Bren, they're the one starting, but look at Light again with
Ganda na
Flicker.
pagkakahagis doon ni Light kay Flapteezy. Owen nakuha si Light.
Glorious pathway dropped down by Owen and
Kaltisi ang nakasecure pero hindi pa tapos dito.
That might be all they
Ang
get
Falcons
here as RSG
AP.Bren na
gives the
paatras
call
dito ang
back.
Raiders.
So with that, FCAP finds a little bit of life in this game.
Nakakuha ng breathing room.
Okay, 1-for-1.
Dito ang Falcons AP.Bren.
Falcons AP.Bren
Makakahinga sila so
lots of
far.
Light, plus the turtle takedown. So far, they're trying to reduce the lead established here by RSG Philippines.
Yan, sobrang tagal ng turtle turtle take kanina. Wala na. Dalawang turtle lang ang nakuha. We're here to get the first lord under 80 seconds po.
Again, with this team, FCAP, it's all about the objectives.
Irad.
And Irad gonna get forced back there too.
Okay. So far, so good for both of these teams. Still an equal ball game. This time we're just gonna wait for
Nibor, alanganin, ganda na pagkakaano doon. Pagkakapuk ni Owen doon.
Actually, Owen's glorious pathway alone, as long as they disrupt the formation of RSG Philippines, that's gonna be a good enough play coming in from Falcons AP.Bren. And on the other hand, RSG Philippines, as long as the ejectors, the earth shatters from both of their initiators connect, it's really okay. Or that's the goal
Nito si
for
ano,
RSG.
si Aqua.
Again, they have the Valentina coming in from Aqua.
Pwedeng pumili ng dito ng ultimate dito si ano, si Aqua.
Whoever casts first, that nether realm
Kumbaga yung
will
nether realm
lose.
yung balak na dito eh. Kunin.
During those long
Kunin ni
That's the
Aqua
point.
later on the ano sa
At
match
one
natin.
time, it's gonna be who has that sustainability in their favor. And that's why I said, going back to my point with RSG, part of this is on Aqua. Like, what ultimates is he going to take? You have so many good choices, honestly. Whether it's the Wild Charge, Glorious Pathway, the Nether Realm yourself, and how does this help the lineup you have? This whole time, too, Super Marco's been pretty much farming up freely. He just picked up the Malefic Roar. And this is all in timing for this
Ang ating
big
first
objective.
Lord.
Lord is now up here. And you're going to see them put the focus on positioning. And that's what they got to be kind of keep an eye on here for RSG, because they've lost that gold lead that they pretty much had for the majority of the game. And so FCAP is in fighting position now.
And so far, these are one of the rare instances wherein
FK, Falcons AP.Bren dito, vision play. Ang pinaprovide dito ni Pew and Owen with Flapteezy sa taas para mag-disrupt ng lane dito. Pero Pew, 3v1, medyo malayo na, nakatakas si Pew doon, pero magandang pick-up play sana yan, care of Nibor.
They get that out. I'm wondering too, Flap's been up here for a while. Just kind of hanging out there, top side.
In out lang
See what
muna.
they decide to do around this. Again, neither team wants to commit to the Lord, and like you mentioned, it was kind of like that way with that turtle earlier on, where neither team wanted to commit to it because of how
Available
these
lahat
fights
ng
can play out.
resources
Flapteezy also just now picking up. He's got
and
some power
ultimate sa
now.
magkabila ang team.
Wow, okay.
Sobrang patience dito.
One wild charge power of nature combination can actually bring down Kosei.
Pero Owen, pick-up play from Nibor, pero walang follow-up doon.
Deal with Owen, because Owen dealing with the frontliners here. Half HP for Owen, but that's okay. And again, we have to go back with the assassin matchup, because both of these assassin junglers can
And dito,
do those
Aqua,
wave management, can do those
kinuha yung
combos.
ano ni Paramis
It's just a
dito,
matter
Nether Realm.
who's gonna out-macro the other.
Kumbaga, no tawag nun para sa insurance
If we're talking
during
about
team fight.
macro, I would probably favor FCAP here, but RSG has been doing a good job. And like I said, so far able to go toe-to-toe with FCAP, trying to keep things pretty much at pace and at par, is showing a much better RSG than we saw in Game 1. It's just still
Top lane dito,
can they win this crucial
Kaya depensa
fight
sa taas with Drop versus the Pani. Mabilis na burst yung mga minions doon. Pero Kosei, sinisimula din dito ang Lord with Owen and Pew na naka-front.
conceal coming in.
Pero ganda na pagkakakuha din ni Nibor. Alanganin, Pew is down. Irad joins the fight. Owen nakuha rin pero hindi pa tapos dito. Double kill para kay Irad with the funny. Pero Koseg mo pronta rito pa side ng RSG. Maiipit dito si Pew, nakuha si Irad pero
until finally Irad goes down.
Nakuha
RSG will be able to go ahead
ang
and take
jungler ng RSG pero sa
Kyle TZ.
Falcons AP.Bren ang nag-iising buhay is yung jungler naman. Magandang trade sa magkabilang team pero hindi na dito magko-contest si Kyle TZ.
Who started it? I mean, there was a conceal coming in from RSG, but I think it was Light or Nibor's Earth Shatter.
Nibor ang nag-pick up dun eh.
I'm not quite sure, but the important thing is RSG Philippines forced Pew to use the Nether Realm first compared to
Light, sisipa ba rito? Ganda, tumawid. Vision lang.
So, great decision making from RSG to start that fight up either way, whether it was Light, whether it was Nibor, but ultimately a result of them getting a swing in their favor. They now have the Lord.
So, inabangan na ng side ng Falcons AP.Bren yung Lord. Saglit lang itong ano, may depensahan.
Trying to block off Irad with that Guardian's barrier, and they finally got the kill, but ultimately they play around this. Look at this. He's just going to stop. Delay it a little bit further. Glorious Pathway going to be dropped
Glorious
down.
Pathway para kay Ogwen. Nagkahalasan dito yung members ng RSG. Pero ganda ng posisyon dito ni Irad. Nakakuha yung top tower dito. This is the battle for the purple buff. Nandito na sisimula. In out, Flap TZ versus Irad. Kaya bang kunin? Sinayawan. Gapiso ang buhay ni Flap doon.
He calls it off. Very close getting that kill.
But Irad though was able to evade that wild charge play coming in from Flap TZ. Almost got a kill on the XP laner Falcons AP.Bren. Pound for pound, punch for punch, these two teams are, I think, equally made so far. Even if RSG Philippines has a 2.8k gold lead, this one clash is all. One clash is all what FCAP needs to turn things around. Again, they have.
Pero yung pressure dito na binibigay ng RSG sa side ng Falcons AP.Bren is maganda. Same nung nangyari kayo ng first game. Nililimitahan ng RSG ngayon yung movement or rotation dito ng Falcons AP.Bren. Pero Ogwen with Super Marco, ganda na position dito.
With each other because really they look disconnected in game 1, but somehow, you know, they found their second wind, at least for now in game 2. It's not over yet. They've got a healthy lead. They've got control around the map. And they have pick-off potential, and I think that's the biggest thing they have to highlight with the lineup that they have.
And I think one of the major adjustments for RSG Philippines is this time Irad got to play.
Yeah.
Irad with the Fanny unleashed his micro-mechanic skills, 3-1-2 KDA, as well as Nibor, this time 0-0-8. He doesn't have to soak up the damage. He doesn't have to be the shield of RSG Philippines. He's freely casting those Earth Shatters for those initiations. Speaking of onward, onward onto Kyle TZ. But he got the purple buff!
Grabe, naago yung purple buff dun ni Nibor.
Kyle didn't want to use the retribution because
si Nibor ang nakano doon kasi nga magkakalord na, hindi na kinontes doon ni Kyle TZ yung purple buff, pero alanganin, in out, Ogwen is down. Hindi nasagip ng Netherrealm doon ni Pew. Pero Irad, sumasayaw pa rin. Flap TZ, kalahati yung buhay. Kasi nauwa si Pew. Nibor nauwa si Super Marco. Tatlo ang baksak sa side ng Falcons AP.Bren. Kyle TZ napaalis. Same scenario during the first Lord. Baksak din si Irad, pero hindi dito makakontest. At libreng load to para side ng RSG Philippines.
Because of Kyle TZ with the 4 blades, Tempest of blades, but I'd like to highlight Aqua. Did you see how he expended that Netherrealm? One more hit, 1 HP left for Irad before he casted that clutch Netherrealm. Really, the 4v1 Philippines for game number 2 compared to game number 1 is really on point. And that's why they have this 3.9k gold lead plus the level 2 Lord marching in the top lane. Falcons AP.Bren did not expect this performance coming in from RSG.
Again, the lineup's really what's working in the favor.
Yeah,
here.
shout out sa mga viewers natin dyan sa Chelsea Gaming, Chelsea Gaming Plays, and sa Macreds TV. Mukhang maaagaw pa dito ni Irad, yung purple buff ni Kyle TZ.
Now primed and ready to knock on the base of FCAP.
Okay. So Irad
Ngayon, bumabawi ang RSG PH.
Blades now, the Lord marching in the top lane. Again, a conceal coming in from RSG Philippines. Will FCAP be able to defend this?
Still gonna work on that. This turret's definitely gonna be gone though, as now
Lumigay na dito.
There is Light
Ganda
once again.
pagkakahagis ni Light
Throwing
doon.
Flap TZ over.
Nasungkit doon at dalagbag si Flap TZ.
They pick up a kill and now eyes set on the mid lane. RSG wants a game 3 and they're a step closer to it.
Kaya na bang tapusin to? Endable na ba? Sinayawan dito ni Irad. Power lock. Game number 2 goes to game number 2. We're going to game number 3. Hindi pa tapos ang gabi. Buhay pa ang mga Raiders.
Number 2.
Grabing laban to. Walang sweep.
Nibor, who's currently 16 years old, but actually
Grabe,
playing like
Nibor,
a pro.
only 16 years old, pero
Man, we have to
pinapakitaan
throw it
tayo
more panelists
ngayon.
because they have to break down how Raiders were able to extend the
Yan,
series.
this is Chelsea Gaming, official authorized streamer partner for MPL-PH Season 14. See you later during game number 3, drafting phase.
I've seen enough on the fly immediate adjustments which happened today. I thought I've seen enough. I take it back. I thought I've seen enough, but RSG Philippines, they just surprised me with more.
Yeah. And I believe Falcons AP.Bren felt like they were surprised as well by that jawhead and just how well Nibor played on the Edith, who, by the way, is the MVP here for PH. Game 1 felt like a big learning game for them. Now this game number 2, with Nibor having a 100% kill participation, it felt like the entire map felt small for Falcons AP.Bren because RSG PH were waiting at the right positionings with the threat of the jawhead and the bounty together to poke out, the presence of the Edith, the presence, most importantly as well, of the Fanny of Irad. You could see the moments where Falcons AP.Bren were thinking about, can we push this? Can we go here?
Yeah, I feel like it was the first time I've seen teams not being that hesitant to go all in on the high loss.
Yeah.
I mean, it was already a surprise for us, or at least for me, to see that they decided to switch things up a bit. It was the Grok on the XP lane instead of the high loss. And it's not the first time we've seen it this season, but at the same time, I felt like what I mentioned earlier during the draft, which was how the Grok could potentially be just as aggressive in the face of a jawhead. It didn't happen because it felt like they were always ready to pick their fights, even up against the high loss, and they just created so much room and space, and even they just built up so much confidence and support for their teammates that they weren't really scared to go in anymore. They had either the Nether Realm that they could copy, and there was always a threat for Kyle TZ. He couldn't just keep going in because not unless, you've mentioned this earlier, not unless they're fully aware that RSG Philippines, they lost or they used up a lot of resources, specifically the Unstoppable Force, then they definitely think twice about fighting up against RSG.
Yeah, and that's what it felt like. Falcons AP.Bren were just overthinking a lot of the things that RSG PH can bring to the table. Despite that, the gold lead rather was a little bit closer. I have to check if this is correct. I think the sides have got to be flipped a little bit with the towers and stuff. The numbers on the left side seem to be the numbers of RSG Philippines. But another thing that I really want to point out is that early kill that Kyle TZ gave at the upper half of the river, less than 5 minutes into the game, was costly because that meant, okay, that gave a little bit more breathing room for RSG Philippines to find the early game that they needed. Remember, we talked about, can RSG PH cross it into their earlier power spikes? If they couldn't do that, this would have been a much closer game. It would have been a little bit easier for Flap TZ to maneuver, for the Ling to maneuver, and for Super Marco to get a little bit more gold and a quicker farm. But since they gave that early kill, and RSG Philippines was able to get that first turtle of the game, then that because there was a 1 level advantage there, if I'm not mistaken, for Irad. Heading into the first turtle, he was level 7, KTZ was only level 6. Then Falcons AP.Bren, it was just tough for them because the window of opportunity they had shrunk so fast.
Yeah, and speaking of that early kill, immediately went into Irad, who, by the way, stood out for me as well in that entire game. It felt like he was not afraid to just go in with all the cables, showed us some unique and highlight-worthy plays on the Fanny right there. So it brings me back. Like I mentioned, Falcons AP.Bren is a team you'd want to ban the Fanny against. Now it's really not just them after all. It's also Irad. In this game, I felt like he activated or he really showed us that one key to victory we mentioned or talked about earlier. Show us the one in your name because he performed so well. It made me think twice. It made me question, like, okay, so given this level of performance that they showed us in the face of like a lot of people, of course, thinking that they're coming into this match as the underdogs or whatnot, who now could be the more terrifying Fanny user between these two assassins, these two junglers?
I like that. That's why hopefully we get to see like another assassin duo. I mean, we probably will. In game number 3. I also really need to commend the RSG Philippines drafting pattern there because they went with the Fanny, Edith, and Jawhead. The Jawhead third pick, I feel like that kind of caught Falcons AP.Bren off guard. And then at the end, they picked up the Valentina. And that, alongside the Edith and the Jawhead, I feel like if we just focus on those 3, it felt like a counter to a lot of things that Falcons AP.Bren wanted to do because you take away the ultimate of the Faramis. When you're playing with the Faramis, you want to stick together, which means that Edith is happy when she gets out of Primal Wrath and it's full stacks as well because you got her basic attacks bouncing from all of the members once they get out of that moment where they are... Bless you! I get you. So, that's the first time I've ever experienced that. My train of thought is just completely gone. But yo, people in the comment section, I'm pretty sure y'all understand what I was getting at. It was just a good draft by RSG Philippines.
Yes, even I felt surprised with the new approach that they showed us because I feel like earlier we were already surprised.
By the way, bless you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. If ever someone in the chat also.
That's gonna get clipped. 100%.
Thank you in advance.
Sub clippers.
But yeah, earlier they prioritized the Edith. Probably a little bit or slightly unexpected for us. I know Edith is like their top most picked hero so far in the tournament, but to think or for it to like show up in their first ever or first ever pick in their first pick, like it was a little surprising. But now they've adjusted pretty well to how Falcons AP.Bren wanted to approach this as well. Like even though they got their hands on the similar sort of lineup, they still had the Faramis with them, they still had an assassin jungler with them. It was no longer the same story. And I feel like even Falcons AP.Bren, they had to react a bit like to the picks that RSG Philippines showed us earlier. They showed us the Brody once again, and it was the usual or typical answer to the Fanny in the previous season, or we know all about that, but now it struggled. I couldn't sense or see how that Brody dominated the laning, which is something I would somehow expect from a Brody, because he's a marksman that's capable of doing just that.
Yeah, I'm trying to imagine as to why it felt like there were times for Falcons AP.Bren, it felt like that they were lacking the damage.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is also just a reminder of how strong the Edith is right now in the current meta, why she's prioritized, why she gets respect banned in the first phase, how strong her ultimate is without the items. She can get her first item in, full stack ultimate already at that point is already very strong. That even though, if you look at it on paper, Falcons AP.Bren's lineup, the Brody's damage after first item, second item should be respectable, the graph should be respectable, but then I think it just also boiled down to RSG Philippines had like raw damage firepower, they had it. The Fanny alone already dealt a lot of damage that Falcons AP.Bren could only wish they could deal. Pair that up with that Edith, as we mentioned earlier, and it's not a good time.
Yeah, I think if I were few in that situation, I'd worry about a lot of things. It's not just the Jawhead, it's also the Fanny, which in the previous game, we were talking about this backstage, how, wow, Few is a mid laner. He's a Faramis user who can time things really well. But before anything else, okay, so MPL fans, let your voices be heard. Which of the week 4 matches, the matches happening next week, should be the next star match? So vote now via the online poll. You could see the options right here. We were already talking about this earlier. We could not decide for ourselves, so we leave it to you. You be the ones to choose which among these 4 series should be deserving of the Star Match title? Which should get the Star Match package, as mentioned here by Renmar? There's a lot of things that come along the Star Match package.
It's all that coverage. Get to see some unique stories, really cool art.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
It is, yeah.
The graphics has been on fire this season.
Yes, also the...
What's up, Andrea?
Also the pre-series.
Why do you laugh?
Interviews, nothing.
Shouting out our graphic artist.
Yeah, I'm feeling a lot of random instances happening today, starting from the face-to-face we've seen from Flap and Nibor earlier.
Speaking of random, I feel like this is something we should share to our English stream viewers.
What's that?
So, there is a popular curse in MPL Philippines concerning 2 talents, Chantel and Brigida.
Oh, yeah.
That if they are working, that the high chance that we get long games and 3 games. Today we're seeing 6 games. Today we saw a 20-minute plus game. And guess where Chantel is right now? In the Filipino broadcast.
She's over there.
And you know where Brigida is.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the curse took double effect.
But it didn't take effect last week.
Were you guys on the same desk?
Yes.
Because that's one of the rules. If you guys share the desk, it's either very quickly or very long.
Okay.
Like, there's no in-between. But since you guys are on separate broadcasts...
I see.
Right? I'm trying to put logic into something that's senseless, but let's go along with me here.
No.
Now RSG picks red
it.
side.
Yes, I'm seeing it. Okay. We're still seeing the same side for these 2 teams. For the past 3 games, 2 games, see, my math is not mathing once again.
It's fine.
For the past 2 games, Falcons AP.Bren, they're on the blue side, and RSG, they've been on the red side. And for the 3rd time around, we're seeing the exact same sides. But what's interesting is that in this series, we're not seeing the 60%, 40% blue side win rate immediately take effect.
Yeah, it's coming from the fact that teams are now starting to leverage not just the strength of the last pick, but the strength of the first 2 picks on the red side. We've seen Phoveus getting prioritized, Edith getting prioritized, which is actually one of the typical picks for the first 2 picks on the red side. But then it was surprising that RSG PH jumped in and picked up their Fanny right away. And then they 3rd picked the Jawhead, because if you're Falcons AP.Bren, you're chasing the strong picks right now in the meta. You see the Fanny, okay, you go ahead and pick up the Faramis so that you can at least heal through or sustain through the initial burst that you can deal with. You first pick the high loss, then you got the Ling. So I think now as it goes on, maybe we're starting to see things balance out because teams are understanding what heroes they can trade for.
Yep. And earlier, even if we've just started seeing the Phoveus increasing in priority, the teams are really starting to adjust because they banned it out in the previous game. So I'm not entirely sure if we're likely seeing the Phoveus again for this game since it's being so prioritized. There are so many assassins coming up. This is Irad and this is Kyle TZ we're talking about. So I wouldn't be surprised again. We wouldn't be surprised if we see another assassin matchup, but that's what a lot of fans like as well. And to think that we're seeing another team challenge this consistency from Falcons AP.Bren once again, it makes us think, like, could this possibly be the time that RSG is finally getting hold of their groove in the season? Because we know that for a fact. RSG, they tend to discover their play style, their ideal approach in the game later on, not immediately at the beginning of the season. But
Yeah.
could this be the start? Could
Yeah,
this be
there's
the
like a
start?
buffer time for them, and I feel like this series going into 3 games is good for both of these two teams. It allows them to just really flex their ideas into the draft. RSG picking red side here, though, for me is I wouldn't say questionable, but it's like, okay, Panda, I see what you're trying to do.
I mean, it worked
Like,
for them.
It's like it worked for them. The red side's working for them because if you put it simply, Falcons AP.Bren can just reiterate or just make slight adjustments to the approach that they wanted to do in game number 2 that didn't work out for them when they were on the blue side just now. So if you're RSG Philippines, that means you're gonna be the one having to adjust somewhat because you're adjusting to the first pick, you're adjusting to the first bans of Falcons AP.Bren. However, now if you're Falcons AP.Bren and you're looking at RSG PH, you might be overthinking a little bit. It's like, wait, so why did they put this in the blue side? Are they expecting this? Now you're, as a coach, you're going to be thinking, okay, if I first pick this, what are they going to steal away from the first 2 picks? And that's when Captain Few and the other members of Falcons AP.Bren will come and chime in terms of like which one of the heroes that they're going to be looking at that they're willing to trade.
Yep. Honestly,
That makes sense.
even I myself am not entirely sure anymore of what's happening in the minds of our coaches right now.
Yeah, there's a lot to consider.
Coach Panda, why pick red side? I mean, it did work one time, but we're fully aware of the statistics that's circulating, just how high the chances are for teams in the blue side to get a hold of a better draft and to eventually secure the game. And now, even for the previous series, we've seen it. So
Yeah, the funny thing is though that for today, blue side has only won once. Majority of the games have been won by red side.
actually,
So yeah, there's been 5 games so far. 4 of those were won by teams on the red side.
so it's real that the teams are understanding how to adjust.
I
and
mean,
make
like to be fair, there's a lot of factors that you have to consider, especially like with what happens in the game.
yeah.
But one of the obvious culprits is, okay, you look at the things that aren't in the pattern. One of the unique patterns is that we're starting to see Phobias pop up more. So that has to be one of the things that teams are really considering. For this series so far, in the first 2 games, the drafting orders have been very unique.
Very unique.
Yeah, you put one hero that isn't usually put up early into the drafting phase way earlier. We saw the first high loss first pick of the season so far.
I think the closest draft that we're used to seeing was the first game of the first day. And after...
Your first game of the first series, yeah.
You have the first series today. And after that, they just kept showing us surprises and changes and
true.
adjustments in the way they approach their individual
Tayo
drafts.
sa
And
panibagong
speaking of
game
drafts,
number 3.
now
Mabilis ang
we see
adjustment
that
lang to ha.
we
Nakita
are
nyo kami
finally
kanina,
going
nakita
to
nyo rin
get
yung laro.
into the
Okay lang
drafting
yan.
phase
Kasi
for
kita nyo na ngayon yung state.
Third.
Definitely third and last game that we're going to be seeing today. No more games after this. It's the last one.
Yeah. So, big surprise! Chip gets banned out on the red side, first phase!
Wow!
Who would have thought?
Wait, I lost track. This is the 39th.
That's
39.
39 straight
What's your
games Chip
command?
has been banned on the red side. So,
Okay.
great adjustments here for Falcons AP.Bren. They're taking away power picks on the
Yan,
red
we
side.
are back.
Yeah.
One thing to note for me is how we're not seeing the Zushin banned out just yet.
Yeah, she's been quite snubbed.
Earlier, she's been consistently banned out, I think.
Yeah.
But then now,
We have
RSG Philippines,
we have
All day
here
all
yes.
day Zushin's been banned,
Edit.
except for this game.
Harit.
We're not entirely sure just yet. RSG Philippines
And
might ban
Fanny,
it.
yung
Okay,
mga
there you
ano.
go. They take it out. We're not seeing that
Chushin.
in Fuse hands.
Yeah.
Chip and Roger
That's
naman ang sa side
incredible
ng
for Falcons AP.Bren after just how great
Side ng
he's been
RSG
using the
PH.
Zushin in the previous week. So, okay. Assassins are all open. Oh, except Fanny. Yeah.
Yeah, Lane's still open. if they want to prioritize that, or Zash, or surprise RSG, first pick of Valentina. We've seen teams sometimes do that. But then if you first pick the Valentina, it's only maybe because you're thinking about the Zask or the Faramis that Aqua could pick up.
No Edith first picks are possible. They banned it out themselves first thing. I would consider a complete deny of the Jawhead immediately this early as well, because there are so many answers that could be provided by RSG later on. But now they get the hold of the Ling. So this early, I'm not entirely sure if we'll be seeing the droid again prioritized. Maybe some other heroes such as the Zask. But we haven't been seeing the Zask either.
Yeah.
So do we just go for the safer route here, the gold lane? Oh, they do get the Jawhead immediately.
Yeah, good rush.
I said, okay, I never expected them to. I mean, I mentioned it, but I didn't think that they'd actually do it.
No, honestly,
But
when you
that's
said it, I
RSG.
thought that they go for the Jawhead right away. I think Falcons AP.Bren can take a page out of the book earlier of Fnatic Onic Philippines. Go Tigreal and Vexana.
Oh,
The Vexana is a good stopper for the high loss. The Tigreal is a good stopper for the Jawhead and the Sand.
yeah.
We talked about how long the crowd control combo is of those two. If they're going to be overthinking the Hayabusa pickup that can show up in the hands of Irad, maybe the Julian pickup, they can go ahead and pick up an Aurora to pair up with the Tigreal. So they have a lot more control there. What they're just sacrificing is the damage that they'll need from another source, specifically the gold laner. I think carry might actually be in good consideration as well for Falcons AP.Bren, knowing they're up against a high loss.
Yeah, they just need to make sure that they'll create enough space for that. And unknowingly, the Phoveus gets through.
Yeah, these two teams are really expanding now our expectations of the meta, because they're going really out of how do I say this? Out of the usual expectations that we see in the drafting pattern for the first 3 picks.
Yeah.
The Valentina feels like it's a potential advanced answer to something that they could show up. While the Phoveus, now you're going to be thinking about the dashes that could be available for the mid laner or the EXP laner.
Yeah.
Or, excuse me, the gold laner or the jungler.
Yeah, I mean
that RSG will pick.
the Faramis is still open for Aqua here, just in case they want to stick with a similar draft to what they had in the previous game. Because I wouldn't say that there'd be more setups coming in here for RSG, since they already revealed the Hylos and the Jawhead, so potentially their XP and Roam heroes respectively. So yeah, they go for the Aurora, at least a better answer to the Ling as well. And why does it feel like RSG is the team with better ways to catch or answer the heroes for Falcons AP.Bren?
Yeah, so far. Because right now we don't see a lot of picks that can make the Phoveus have an easier time.
Yep.
In terms of what you would call as a dash, I guess the closest that you have is an unstoppable force of the Jawhead.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that can shorten the cooldown of Oh, that's good. I had to stop my train of thought. That's way too good. Nibor, say Nibor. Oh my goodness. I love our community. I love it.
I'm singing it in my head. No, I will never say never. I will fight.
You really want to continue?
No, it's okay. I'm good. I don't want
It's
to.
alright, we can continue it after.
reveal so
Give me a
much.
high five.
Okay.
I didn't give her a high five. Good ban. What? That's Soul?
That's Soul.
That's Soul, yeah.
Soul.
What's happening?
Member of See You Soon, a former member of RSG Philippines. So,
Yeah.
okay, good ban here on the Julian by RSG PH. But the Hayabusa will still be available
Aurora.
for Irad.
Aurora Hylos,
Yeah, I think
Jawhead,
they're just gonna
or
play
RSG
Hayabusa
PH, Ling,
Unless...
Valentina, Phoveus.
Huh. Alpha's still open.
Are we really going that heavy into the dive composition?
Jawhead, Aurora, Alpha. The Link's not gonna have a good time.
That sounds terrifying for Falcons AP.Bren, even though they have the Terrify in their hand.
They
Okay,
banned it out.
okay, no.
See, it would have been a really good pick. So you just go here. No, just pick up the Haya.
They-
Well, you know the Hayabusa is gonna be the last, one of the last picks anyway.
That was
I,
that got me scared. They
what
could.
What if they consider a Marcus?
Oh yeah. I was considering it earlier, but then
Marcus
we've
jungle?
shifted so much in terms of jungle heroes that maybe the last time I saw the Marcus wasn't even in the jungle. It's in the mid lane. So I'm not entirely sure if they consider that right now. So maybe we'll get our answer later on. For now, they get Moskov. And for Falcons AP.Bren, they're lacking a
Last
roamer,
2 picks para
no
side
Tigreal,
na
no
Falcons
Rock.
AP.Bren.
So still there for them if they
Binan
want
dito
to.
yung
But
ano,
then,
Julian and Alpha.
I'm not entirely sure if that answers
We are looking
the
for
high loss
roamer.
rocket dive, engage.
And
type
gold
of
lane
coverage
sa side
that
ng
RSG
Falcons
figured out so
AP.Bren.
This might end up having to be a carry unless they go full dive and go. No,
Brody.
you can't go gold lane Ruby at this point. You're severely
Yeah.
lacking damage.
I wonder what
Golden
other,
Ruby.
You can't go assassin roam because it's a Jawhead and an Aurora and a high loss on the other side.
Ay, medyo alanganin.
Could it be a carry? So they get the Lolita.
Lolita once again.
Oh my God! Oh no!
I said it earlier!
Yeah!
We said it in
Hanabi
game
here,
number
the
1!
Hanabi.
Game number 1, but it's finally happening right now. We're seeing the Lolita Hanabi.
It's gonna be the full heal Lolita with Hanabi.
And it's with Falcons AP.Bren at that.
Grabe si
Hey, if we're gonna have a
Yung
prediction
combo na ito
scoring
sa
system,
RG.
y'all gotta have to give me one. Game number 1,
Dinala na
we
dito sa ano,
mentioned
sa
that we're a step closer to seeing a Hanabi in
professional league.
MPL because we saw the full heal Lolita and we get it.
Yeah, it was just a Harris earlier, but now... Okay, let's go. Let's get the Hanabi and get things done.
Ganda ng front at saka backline dito ng ano, ng Falcons AP.Bren.
You wouldn't want to go so heavy on the front.
X-Borg.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. Hanabi doesn't have dash.
Okay.
All right. I
That's
think
safe.
it'll be good before we go explain why we're freaking out about the Hanabi. So that's one of the poisonous combos. Shout out to Auntie Anara for bringing this to my attention. The passive of the Lolita, she gives shields.
Yes.
Build that, full magic, full heal, you give a lot of shields.
Yes.
Which means Hanabi, her passive will activate and she will be immune to crowd
crowd
control
control.
effects.
Yep, you can't catch her, and you can get the Hanabi as an option for the ejector plays later on, but we'll see if you
Let's
even get
go! This
access
is game
to
number
the Hanabi
3.
later on. As
Match
now
number
we're
2 ngayong
finally
gabi.
about to see the last game of this day.
Falcons
Let's all
AP.Bren
watch out
versus
for what Falcons
RSG
AP.Bren
PH.
finally show us
Magkakaalaman
for
na sino
today. Let's get it
mag-uwi
over
ng
to our
panalo ngayong
casters for
gabi.
this last game. Let's go! Ian, hand
Bakbakan
it
na
back to
sa
you.
Land of Dawn.
Oh my.
Oh my gosh! Welcome to the English desk. Again, this is Ian and Naisu. And this isn't a graphic
Yeah, shout out sa
glitch or
mga viewers
anything.
natin. Welcome to
Falcons
Chelsea Gaming.
AP.Bren, the Titans,
Official
the gods,
authorized streamer
picked
partner
up
for
a Hanabi for
MPL-PH
Super
Season
Marco,
14.
paired up with a Lolita.
Hype up
Naisu, I
yung
think
mga
I've
tao
seen
ngayon dito.
everything.
I'm all for
Sa
it.
Lolita
What are we calling this? Hanabita?
and Hanabi combo.
Hanabita.
Lolibi. I don't know, but one thing
Nib
for
or
sure
say nibber.
Nibber.
So fitting. You said you'd never see Hanabi in MPL. Well, look at this.
She's here.
She's here.
She's here. She's arrived. Never say never to anything. Wow, again, the concept of this Hanabi and Lolita is that whenever, the passive of Hanabi is whenever she has shields, she's immune to crowd control. So Aqua, Light, even Nibor with
Dito,
his first skill
Aqua.
stun. Super Marco will be indeed super bulletproof this time.
Yep.
Also has the
Ganda naman
also
dito
has the
rotation
and again, the passive coming in from Lolita, she
ng
gives a
RSG
lot
as of now.
shields. And this time around, I never thought I'd see this in a level of this caliber. But when push comes to shove, Falcons AP.Bren.
Pero Falcons AP.Bren, balak dito i-poke yung mid lane
I know, I've heard the
with
concept.
Aurora,
And now we get to see the
KTC
pros play it.
invading the
That's exciting.
jungle. Pero
I'm just
maganda yung
wondering,
pagkaaga ni Ira
you know,
dito.
Leave it to a team like FCAP to do it, by the way. Again, this was a team before that, did some pretty crazy things, even seasons past, and, even getting a glimpse at Flap TZ on the Phobius, when we saw that in the mid lane before from FCAP in previous seasons. So, again, we'll see exactly how this ends up working out. We already know how that works in synergy with the passives and everything else, but RSG, looking at their lineup, they have great coverage from the front line, from their damage profiles even.
First turtle, ganda na posisyon dito magkabilang team.
How did Renoir
Pew
put it? It's one of the poisonous ones.
ni Bor dito.
Basically, it's toxic. People don't like to play against it if it's used. But now with a fight for the turtle, gonna break down. Two glorious pathways being dropped down. Noodle blast.
Dalawang glorious pathways dito kabilaan. Pew ang nakakuha ng turtle.
Blades also being followed up. Kyle TZ
Ganda na pagkakapasok dito ng Falcons AP.Bren. Alanganin si Irad Sinibor dito. Last almost down with
And they
Irad.
all survive.
Nakatakas pa.
Out there for that first turtle.
Wala pa rin tayong first blood.
Everyone is still here. No first bloods yet, although Falcons AP.Bren did pick up that first turtle. A lot of ultimates actually expended. We've seen 2 glorious pathways plus the Numinum Blast connecting onto 3. And sustain from both teams. Again, Nibor with the Revitalize came in clutch there as Light was able to evade a potential death. But here comes the problem for Light. Yes, you have the ejector. Yes, you have the unstoppable force. But you're going up against an unstoppable or a CCMU type of lineup with Super Marco and Ogwin.
Well, you never know.
Never say never.
Yeah, at that point too,
You know, fun fact though, Justin Bieber actually started, I think, when he was 14 or 16 years old.
Yeah.
Same with Nibber right now, currently 16 years old, but playing like a veteran. Wow, he literally said during the interview, I believe it was Coach Pat, that
Light, ganda ng vision dito. Ogwin, boom!
Yeah. Oh wow!
Grabe naman
that
yun.
was taken! Oh! Kosei!
Grabe yung timing ni Kosei doon.
Spirit Destruction. And that's... How many times have we seen that now?
Ganda ng ni Light doon. Communication-wise ng dalawa.
And also Kosei.
Last week?
Yeah?
No, it wasn't.
No. I think it was Jome.
Yeah.
It was Jome.
We've seen it a couple times.
If I'm wrong, I'm sorry.
That's one of the great usages of the Spirit Destruction, though. And now, he's got this little advantage you can play around with. But I'm not sure if he's still going to be able to do too much against that matchup against Super Marco. Meanwhile, though, Turtles spawning up here.
Second turtle nandito na.
Getting in position.
Pero RSG, pinipressure dito si Flap TC. With Pew poking out Aqua. Libor, ganda ng front line dito.
It's not as aggressive, or could be aggressive as Kosei, but look at this, another ejector here.
Toss up again, Glorious Pathway, drop down.
Alanganin si Ogwin dito, Glorious Pathway.
He still has the passive, so he's going to be fine for now.
Tagisan yung dalawa.
Flap still the front of it all, taking the brunt of the damage. And meanwhile,
grabe
the 1v1
yung bakbakan
up top
even
of the
sa
gold
top lane natin.
Here, 1 versus 2, make it 3.
Flap TC na magkakahagis doon, Ogwin. Pero Light, alanganin yung buhay. Flap TC almost down, pero natuluyan na nga.
From RSG.
Nakakuha doon ng kill ang RSG PH. Pero hindi pa tapos dito ang RSG PH.
Getting tossed up again.
Irad secures the turtle, pero may bonus pa. Nakuha rin si Ogwin. Light, alanganin.
TZ won't be able to find it. But they're happy with that, and they'll take a buff as well.
2 kills.
Grabe, pero in terms of gold lead, pantay lang yung magkabilang team natin.
Once again of 2 buffs. 1 orange buff and a while ago, Kosei with the Spear of Destruction steal. So right now, Kyle TZ not having a good time. And looking at the the levels of the 2 junglers still.
And shoutout sa mga viewers natin dito sa Chelsea Gaming. The Chelsea Gaming Plays and even kay Macren's TV. We're also live sa ating YouTube channel, which is Chelsea Gaming. Please do follow and like and share ang ating live stream ngayon para mas marami tayong makasamang manood ng bakbakan ng Falcons AP.Bren versus RSG PH.
Some grounds here, minor ways where RSG is utilizing the lineup that they have, and that's what they have to do. They have to play around Light, be on this jawhead, throwing people into the arms of the rest of the team. Super Marco just picking up that golden staff. I'm wondering, because we haven't seen too much of Hanabi like at all competitively, aside from these niche situations, like where is that power spike gonna pop up for the Hanabi against a lineup like this? You can see the freeze coming down already. Whoa. 2 glorious pathways being dropped down, and Flap jumps to the backside as Few was taken out. Now Nibor still pushing the pressure on
Malanganin si
Super Marco.
Nibor
Gonna get
dito,
the lockdown
2v1.
again. Vengeance is popped
Ganda
as well.
pagkakahold doon ni
Blast won't
Nibor.
find the target.
Light
Still,
nakakuha
Flap
si
goes
Flap,
down.
double
Kyle
kill.
will be able to pick up Aqua
Pew
though.
and Flap
still
TC.
chasing it further, but Iraad so tanky.
Ang ganda ng ginawa ni Nibor doon. Nahold yung dalawang members ng Falcons AP.Bren para makakuha ng double kill si Light.
To finally get the kill onto Aqua. And they were actually lucky because the Spear of Destruction did not hit. But look at Kosei working on the middle lane right now. Isn't bothered that Ogwen and Few is there trying to defend their turret. Right now, RSG
Nibor, inakat dito yung lane.
Working on the middle lane. Has a 1.3k gold lead. Wow, it feels like the Raiders woke up after game number 1.
Definitely did, and now we'll see if they wake up here for the last turtle of the game. Glorious Pathways
Glorious
both being dropped down.
Pathways, parehong ginawa, pero yung top lane natin, Aqua. Alanganin, Caltizi, nakakuha si Aqua rito.
Spear Destruction there to follow in
Lap
through.
this is also done, 1-1 trade. Total almost done, mag-reset pa ba? Pero Iraad na-secure ang third turtle ng ating laban.
The 1-for-1, Iraad's still alive.
Iraad almost done, kapiso yung buhay dun bago nakatakas.
Wow, RSG Philippines. I mean, Kyle TZ has the link here.
Nag-overcommit ba si Flap dun kanina? Nung hinabol niya si Aqua? O dapat ano lang niya, zinone out niya si Iraad nung clash na yon.
Looks like the power spike of Falcons AP.Bren really towards the mid to the late game. But again, the problem will persist. RSG, the Raiders have the Moskov, have Kosei. So in terms of
Tagawin, di ba? Nag-sabayan na yung Glorious Pathways ni ano eh. Ni tawag doon, ni Pew at saka ni ano ni Bor.
You're gonna see the lineup shine or not.
Pero ito na.
That's really what's up.
We're waiting for the next for the first load ng ating match number 3, game number 3.
I would say RSG
match number 2.
Relatively comfortable right now, still working on that third item here for Kusei, but you know, already having the Corrosive Scythe and Golden Staff locked in, can rely on that front line, and then the peel as well coming out from Aqua. A lot of times the freeze is on point, the frigid glaciers and everything else. So yeah, like you said, Egon, RSG seem to have woken up after game 1.
Kosei finally picked up his DHS.
Nibor, ganda pa rin ang ginagawa doon, tamang vision lang. With Aqua dishing out damage. Ganda na pagkakahagis doon, alanganin si Flap TZ. Mako-corner ba? Nibor, Glorious Pathway galing kay Pew. Nakabawi doon si Kyle TZ, Light is down. Pero Kosei nakuha si Ogwen. Nakuha yung magkabilang roamer ng magkabilang team.
Did you see Super Marco? You can't say Super Marco this time has superb positioning because he was literally in the middle of the clash, but he's unbothered because of the Lolita and Hanabi connection.
He's just freely moving.
Yes.
The Lord is here, pero di pa pinapansin ng magkabilang team.
Even if he's beside Light, even if he's beside Nibor.
Nel Francisco, salamat sa pag-like ng ating live stream. Shoutout sa'yo, Nel Francisco.
The passive of the Hanabi. CCM Unity as long as she has shields. And with Ogwen always present, man, Super Marco.
And that's the thing. When we get to the late game, I'm worried for RSG if they're gonna have too much trouble dealing with that combination, that synergy.
Pero iba yung call dito ng Falcons AP.Bren. Bala kumuha ng Torre for objectives. We have here Nibor. O-overcommit ba? Ganda ng pasok doon. Pero alanganin. Krinos out ito ni Pew. Na-corner pa rito. Ang side or na-sandwich play dito ang RSG PH. Iraad is down. Aqua, di ba makakaligtas? Pero Kyle TZ dito from the top. Solo Lord na to, pa side ng Falcons AP.Bren. Bantay sarado dito si Hanabi. Care of Ogwen with Lolita. Hindi makapasok sa backline. Once again yung RSG PH na sandwich play. Unang naglapag ng Glorious Pathway dito si Nibor. Yan, then after nun, ginaya ni Pew
having the
Naipit
course
yung
pathway
members
ready.
dito sa gitna, oh.
Look at Kyle TZ making sure that all
Doon nadali at unti-unting naubos yung members ng RSG
he'll
PH.
clean up the job.
Yeah, you see that CC immune pop up so often for Super Marco.
Yung
to the
pick-up
point
na
where
hinahanap
I
ng
don't even recall seeing him
RSG,
use the Aegis yet, the battle spell.
binalagbag
I don't think he's had
ng
to for the
Falcons
most part
AP.Bren.
because of the fact that you have that Lolita there. So even more so if he decides to just go ahead and use the Aegis here. And look at this. Take a look, Super Marco.
Prior to Super Marco's pick, the last time Hanabi was using was back in Season 3,
Oh!
but Nimbor has to use the Glorious Pathway to walk away!
Again, putting the pressure in the mid
Pero,
lane. Still the work is there.
alanganin dito
RSG
members
trying
ng
to stop
RSG
the
PH.
zone raid from FCAP.
Dahan-dahang kinokontrol ng Falcons
Yeah, going
AP.Bren
back
yung
to him.
mapa
Since
rito.
Season 3,
Season 3. Was Nimbor even alive back then?
Once again, pure glorious
was alive.
pathway.
you know, we get 2 seasons a year, so let's do the quick math.
Yeah, quick math, quick math.
Naiipit dito ang RSG PH
The onslaught of attack coming in from Falcons AP.Bren. Even Irad having a hard time
with
here.
Pew
As they were
and
able to clear out the
Ogwen
minions.
playing
Onic down for RSG
frontliners.
Philippines, though.
Very
and
interesting,
Flap
too.
TZ zoning
Looking at
out
this,
the members
Super
of
Marco
the
is at
Raiders.
that power spike, has what he needs. Even has the wings himself. Yeah.
No, poke lang
Some extra
ginagawa ni
shield.
Flap TZ
You
rito.
want more
Guns
shield? I'll
Pew,
take more
maharap
shield.
din
You
eh,
have more
pumapron.
shields than how many bullets RSG can throw at you, but Irad now.
Oh no, Irad gonna be in trouble.
Irad,
Last incendiary already
alanganin
extended.
dito.
They're gonna find it in
Maiipit
Lumina
nga,
Blast, and
Super
there it is. Super
Marco.
Marco again, moving and
Double
grooving
kill ni
freely.
Bor. And
As two
Irad
down
is
for
down.
RSG. No Lord for the taking. But the
Hindi
pressure is on as
mahuli-huli.
FCAP has hit that
Si
power
Super
spike.
Marco,
Okay,
nandyan
so
si
we just
Ogwen
got word that
pa-protect
last player
the
to use
backline
Hanabi was Coco.
of Falcons
During,
AP.Bren.
Versus Archangels in the grand finals of
Are
season
they
3.
playing
Wow.
the patient
makes me
game?
feel-
Oh,
That's a while.
kukunin na to
That's a sad throwback.
ng Beast
But
to
one thing
take
for
game
sure,
number
Spark
3
has a
and to
5-point
secure
lead as they
this
take down
series.
get an inhibitor onto the top lane. Super Marco picks up the Malefic Aurora. 203 KDA from the bulletproof man himself.
Less than 30 seconds for the next Lord.
A pro team executed this toxic lineup
Hey,
in a high-stakes game.
I always say, and I've seen some games, you know, 5 retributions, 5 arrivals. If it's in the game and you can use it,
5 flame shots.
it's fair. You know, that's how I see it. Ingan. So you know what? If call it toxic or not, FCAP, it's in the game. They utilize it. They're making it work. Look at the shields, by the way.
Grabe. Oh.
Massive shields here. Few the whole time. Glorious Pathway has been the choice.
It would have been nice to have an Esmeralda for the Raiders.
Sakit ng damage si Super Marco rito.
Oh.
Glorious Pathway once again.
Again,
From the back, hinabol ni Kyle
Still has
TC.
the passive, but right under the temperature
Nakuha
blaze.
dito si
Kyle TC
Aquas.
still looking for
Killing
more.
spree.
Irad goes down.
Kosei
Whole time,
from the
Kosei
top
pushing
lane.
on the other
Gumagawa
side of
ng
the map.
diversion play
That
pasay
might
ng
be
RSG
it,
PH.
At least for now, 2 down for RSG.
Mukhang hindi
They're gonna go in for a
naihintayin dito.
full-based push
Yung
here.
Lord,
Looks like
endable
just
na ba?
4
Endable
members.
ang call dito
They're
ng
going to put this to the
Falcons
test here.
AP.Bren.
There's just 2
Nibor
punches.
is
Nibor
down.
goes
Grabe
down,
yung
and there's the
damage. Yung
lock
shield na
into
meron dito.
a mega kill for Super Marco. Looking
Defense
for
is the best
Kosei.
offense,
Will
sabi
Build
ng
not
Falcons
pushing it
AP.Bren.
just yet. It's only Kosei alive. 8 seconds on Aqua. Face is going to be worked on.
Kosei
Ogren
playing
holding
good
down the
defense
front
para sa
line. That
RSG
wave
PH,
pushing
pero
in.
may
And that
minions
looks like
na.
it could be it.
Game
As the
number
face is
3
gonna be
goes
worked on,
to
and FCAP will
Falcons
make it
AP.Bren
happen
securing
as they
the
take
series
2-1.
2-1.
You can hear it.
You can hear the crowd chanting Hanabi. Last time this hero was picked was Season 3, but this time in the hands of the bulletproof man himself, Super Marco, making it work alongside Ogwen's Lolita as they take game number 3.
Grabe yung last
What a way
yung
to
last minute ng bakbakan na yun, nakakahingal. Pero kudos sa RSG PH. Ganda na pinakitang performance today.
Marco. I'm not sure
Di mo
if
pwedeng
this is the Aegis.
i-count out dito ang Raiders sa tournament natin.
But props to RSG for
Pero mabigat pa rin talaga. Once natalo ka dito sa atin ngayon sa season 14, wala kang makuhang puntos.
And you know too, like, I don't know whose call it was,
It's all or nothing.
Maybe the players ask, hey coach, can we run
1
this?
point goes to
Coach,
Falcons AP.Bren.
I trust you guys.
You never know. It might have come from Coach Bren.
Maybe.
Who's here.
Kailangan nang ibalik yung long hair na light.
Of the last series of
The
games.
long hair light prime.
You know, I'm really excited for the interview. What went through their mind? That's why Mara Aquino, please take it away.
All right, everybody, put your hands together for Falcons AP.Bren. Super Marco, narinig mo ba yung sinisigaw nila? Pagtanggal mo ng headset, everybody's like, Hanabi! Hanabi! Ang tagal na namin hindi nakita to. Ano yung ano yung reaction mo nung narinig mo sinisigaw nila yung hero ginamit mo?
Wala, nakakatawa lang.
Nakakatuwa. Okay.
Nonchalant.
So, yung Lolita Hanabi combo, super cheesy sa RG. First, tatanong ko kayo syempre, especially for the people who don't know, bakit etong combo na to? At pangalawa, nakilig ba kayo nung nakapasok to?
Nakinig?
Nakilig! Kasi a lot of people,
Kinilig.
when you pick those
Hindi
two,
nakilig,
nagsigawan yung buong venue natin.
Nung una namin nakita yung Hanabi, yung sa RG yun Hanabi Lolita. Ilang beses kami natatalo nun nung sakit sa ulo. So, tinry namin pasok dito sa tournament para masaktan yung ulo nila.
Tsaka naka-revitalize ka din. So, nung pumasok, ano bang naisip nyo? Like, sure win na to? Kinilig ka ba doon? Natuwa ka doon? Anong nangyari?
Mataas chance yung namin. Malakas kami mag-defend, tapos malakas kaming pumush. Dahil sa revitalize Lolita.
Exactly. Now, sa lahat ng mga nag-RG dyan, anong gusto nyong sabihin sa kanila pag ginagamit? Ang Lolita at ang Hanabi. O, ikaw.
Tiwala lang sa heal, tapos kapag na-autolock nyo na yun, sure masasakit yung ulo ng kalaban nyo.
Sumakit nga yung ulo nila. Ikaw, anong gusto mong sabihin sa mga nag-RG dyan? Nagagamit ng Hanabi. May Lolitang katabi.
Huwag nyo gamitin para di sumakit ulo namin. Baka malaro namin kayo.
That was such a great surprise. It was very, very, very entertaining.
Let's try
And now,
this, Hanabi
it's time
and
to
Hanabi
announce
Lolita.
our MVP of the game. Can you guys guess who it is? Hanabi pa rin. Ang sinasabi. Let's take a look at the screen. Our MVP is Kyle TZ. Okay, Kyle, bago mag-umpisa ang laban natin ngayon, ikaw ang #1 sa buong liga pagdating sa Turtle and Lord kills. You had about 17 Turtle kills and 12 Lord kills. So, pag nag-retry ka ba, ano ba yung sikreto doon para naman sa lahat ng ating mga manonood? What should they watch out for para mas mataas ang chance sa pag-retry?
Hayaan nyo sila mag-start ng mga turtle kasi sabi ni Fuego lamang daw kapag ni-start ng kalaban yung turtle.
So, hayaan sila. Hayaan. So, that's your secret. Okay. Now, what do you want to say to everybody that's watching right now? Talagang, with your plays, they were all screaming. What do you have to say to the fans?
Sa lahat po ng mga fans na nanonood dito at sa mga bahay-bahay nila, maraming salamat po sa pagsuporta po sa amin at pagpatuloy niyo lang po kami suportahan.
And now, alam nyo, meron kayong supporter na ibang klase ngayon. And then that supporter is going to win 3,000 diamonds.
Sana
Come on
all.
up. Congratulations. Lucky fan of the day. Come here. Hello. What's your name?
Sinichi po.
Sinichi. Sinichi, ilang taon ka na?
12 po.
12. At, sabi ni Floor Director, birthday mo daw ngayon?
Opo.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Isang happy birthday. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Oh, yung buong arena. Ano bang birthday wish mo?
Ang birthday
Skin.
wish ko po, sana po manalo din po yung RSG at saka po Bren. Kaso nga lang po, ang nanalo po, Bren.
Ang hirap naman na manalo yung dalawang team. Napaka-inosente mo. That's nakakatuwa yun. Anong rank mo ba? Anong rank mo sa MLBB?
Epic 4 po.
Epic!
4 po.
Oh,
Kaya
so
pa
palagi ka pa
kumaboy,
naglalaro or minsan lang?
25 ba na lang?
Minsan lang po
25
tuwing
days?
Sabado-Linggo.
Tuwing Sabado-Linggo.
good job.
Kasi estudyante. Oh, anong sabi?
Study first.
Study first. Ilang oras ka ba kada Sabado-Linggo nag-aaral?
4 hours po.
4 hours. Nasaan si parents? Dagdagan natin ng 30 minutes. Sino dito ang favorite player mo?
Si Kyle TZ po.
Oh, magkatabi kayo. Bakit si Kyle?
Kasi po sa kanya po ako natututo mag-build at saka po maglaro ng ML.
Nice.
Sa'yo daw natututo.
Very good.
O, anong message mo sa birthday boy natin? Sa kanya, sa'yo ka he's looking up at you. Ayun.
Enjoy mo yung birthday mo ngayon, tapos pagpatuloy mo lang yung paglalaro. Malay mo, makapasok ka din sa pro scene. Balang araw.
Malay mo balang araw. Okay, study first. Congratulations. Happy birthday. You won 3,000 diamonds.
Sana all.
Now,
May diamonds.
your birthday gift, magbabaw ka with your team, and then you're gonna take a walk with them, all right? All right. You may now take your bow and take your walk of victory. Congratulations sa ating
Congratulations
lucky
sa
winner.
Falcons AP.Bren.
Birthday pa niya today with 3,000 diamonds.
And once again, this is Chessy Gaming, official authorized streamer partner for MPL-PH Season 14. Kita-kits tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Stage playing as a pro. We're gonna break that down for you. Lots of great things for sure. Pag-uusapan natin ang ating Lolita Hanabi combo. So we're gonna go back to our panel. Pasok.
RG's
Okay,
gonna be a
what a-
nightmare, huh? RG's gonna be a nightmare.
What a day.
Yep. Lolita Hanabi. That's the reality we find ourselves in.
Guys, it happened.
Hanabi!
It happened here.
It's the boy Hanabi!
In the
Pero ito si
MPL.
Ling. Pero
But
none of the
before
above.
we proceed
Ang
with
nakakuha
that
ng MVP
Lolita
natin, it's Kyle
Hanabi
TZ
combo
606 KDA.
we
First off,
initially thought was
tama
going to
yung
show up,
hinala
but then we
natin
didn't
na
expect
mid-draft
that
na
would
parang wait lang.
eventually show up.
Masyado
Okay,
na
we have to give it to
pinag-iinitan
our game
ng
MVP,
RSG,
which is
yung
none
public
other than
enemy
Kyle
number 1, the one above
TZ.
all, yung
If there
Ling ni
was
Kyle.
one
Pero yun nga
difference
I think
between
it's
the
true that
composition of
in the
Falcons
heat of
AP.Bren and
things,
RSG
gusto
Philippines
mo
earlier, it was
bigyan
that
yung Ling.
backline
Pero
access
in the
that
time
Kyle
na
TZ was
nagpa-farm
able
lang
to
si
provide
Kyle
us
TZ
using
and
the
tinatry
Ling.
lang pigilan
As
yung Lolita
compared to
Hanabi,
RSG,
nawalan
who
na ng
felt like they
focus.
really
I think
were
that's a
struggling
key
to get
in the
way
early to
to
mid-game
reach
power
Super
spike.
Marco.
And when the
Yeah.
petal
They have to
blades
get
begin
past
hurting,
the
yung
Lolita
tipo na
and all
nagbabato-bato
those
na,
frontliners
yung
presented to us
dikit-dikit
by
na ginagawa ng
Falcons
RSG
AP.
becomes
this
a
is a four
problem.
protect one
Kaya
lineup.
kaya kung
Yes,
mapapansin mo in
protecting
these
the
fights,
Hanabi,
lumalayo
all of the
ng
pressure,
konti yung mga
surprisingly
damage
enough, is on
dealers.
your-
Yun lang yung inaantay ni Kyle TZ. The moment na lumayo yung mga damage dealers sa kupunan ng RSG dahil nga nagpapasapasahan na ng petal blades, ay tsaka siya bumababa mula.
RSG Philippines and RSG's formation kept getting cut by
Yep.
the MVP in that link of Kyle TZ.
And I mean, all those Frigid Glacier ultimates we've seen
Yep.
coming in from Aqua had a huge role to play for
Uh-huh.
RSG when they were nearly getting advantage of the early game.
Yep.
But clearly, it's Falcons AP.Bren who took the win.
Blood Wings!
Blood Wings!
Blood Wings on a Hanabi. Remember, there's an effect
Oh
for
my
Blood Wings where when
gosh.
the shield of the Blood Wings breaks, she gets a little bit more extra movement
Yes.
speed along with it. So that means Hanabi will have a little bit more mobility. This is when the time where I was thinking, why not just build the Rose Gold Meteor? That
yeah.
gives a shield anyway. That gives you more attack. But he was going for the movement speed that comes with breaking the shield that you get from the Blood Wings.
So
Big
all,
brain.
all those magic power and all that, they weren't really, they didn't matter in this Blood Wings pickup shown to us by Super Marco. It was really that additional movement speed. A lot of people were saying that the reason, or one of the biggest reasons why Hanabi isn't that much used ever since, I mean, earlier it was shown to us the last time we've seen the Hanabi was in Season 3. So
Yeah,
that's
by AP.Bren.
By
Oh, well,
AP,
they were
but-
still Bren Esports.
Yeah, but that was way long ago. But one major reason as to why is because Hanabi clearly lacks mobility.
Yeah.
She has no blink skill. She doesn't have a way to actually apart from, I'd say, if you'd get the Quantum Charge or like other, or you want the Weakness Finder, so your enemies instead are the ones that slow down. But this time, they made sure that they had it for themselves. And I don't even think they needed to worry that much. Because again, RSG Philippines, they had little to no access to the backlines, and they were already able, or Falcons AP.Bren was eventually able to find a way to deal with or to position themselves away from all the threats that RSG Philippines could show, either the Glorious Pathway or be it the Frigid Glacier.
Yeah, and RSG Philippines' lineup isn't bursty by any chance. It's a lineup for longer team fights. But who's a hero that loves longer team fights? The Hanabi. 103,000 damage dealt by the Ninja.
You know, I'm starting to think, if you were RSG Philippines, who is that one hero you'd want to serve as the first person to show up or to really lead the front lines? Because if you were grouped up together, Hanabi would enjoy. That's what Super Marco really appreciates as well for RSG Philippines. But they just couldn't also deal with the front line problem that they had to provide against Falcons AP.Bren. There were so many problems. Falcons AP.Bren, they were coming from everywhere. Even Flapteasy on this Phobius.
Yeah, and for the lore heads out there, if I'm Hayabusa, I'm looking at Kagura and thinking, do I really want to? Because after that Hanabi performance, even Hayabusa at this point, again, that's a reference to the in-game story that we have in MLBB. But there is a universe that maybe RSG Philippines could have won that game.
Yes.
Not saying that it is an impossible way for them to win it, but it would have been really difficult if Falcons AP.Bren were committing errors. But again, they lacked the damage for the instant removal of the shields that the Hanabi was getting, and for the Phobies as well, who were just happily just going wee all over everyone in RSG Philippines.
Yeah. And there were moments earlier which felt like RSG, they were actually able to somewhat answer. But then I'd also like to think that it was mainly because Hanabi Lolita, they were away from all the team fights which were happening. So, according to our community prediction results, they voted 20-80 in favor of Falcons AP.Bren, and it seems like even for the both of us.
Okay. We both get points.
We both get points.
Our imaginary prediction point system that doesn't exist.
Who knows?
Who knows? Maybe one day, right?
Maybe we could just like take note of our votes individually and we can just show you guys who the winner is eventually at the end of the regular season or the season as a whole. But now, clearly, majority favored Falcons AP.Bren, and still they emerged as the winning team for the series. I wouldn't say it's just the winning team, the team who, ironically, was the one who brought in the surprises, even though we thought it was RSG Philippines who's going to do that earlier.
Yeah.
I cannot believe we saw 6 games immediately for the first day of
At interesting
our
dito, ang
third week.
isang talo ng Falcons AP.Bren, yung dun sa nakakauna sa kanila, Smart Omega.
Might just be right. We have to be separated.
I think
Chantel and I have to be
they're
separated
somewhat
for
tied
a
up.
year.
Kasi match win-loss, 3-1, 7-3. Pero yun nga, yung dahilan kung bakit Smart Omega ang second seed at Falcons AP.Bren ang third.
As well.
Oh, there's a lot of things which really happened today thanks to all those maxed out series we've seen. But for our overall regular season standings, it seems like it barely moved for majority of our teams.
So yeah, Falcons AP.Bren is climbing.
Yep.
The top teams. They launched up to 3.
Yep. So we're starting to slowly get halfway through the season. So for those teams at the lower half of our standings, they might want to start getting those
The fancy klaban is
they need to get they need to start getting points. But for our fancy klaban standings this time around, because here in the MPL Philippines, we have some matches played by our team supporters. And based on these standings, they're all in line with what actually happened for their series today.
Yeah, but why good? Well, yeah, Fnatic Onic won earlier. Falcons AP.Bren won just now, and the fans of FNOP and FCAP got the wins. By the way, yeah, this is so interesting because before the show starts, we actually have the 5-on-5 fan matches happening. So while people are lining up or already lined up, you have casters, amateur casters from the community,
Yeah.
members of the community casting their fellow fans' games, and then you see the fans going 5v5. It's a really fun experience here. So if you want to join in, tap in with the community of your favorite teams.
Yep.
If you're based here in the Philippines, because they will be more than happy to accommodate you to join the 5v5 tournament.
It's super cute. You get to grow closer with the community. And not just, I think, the community of the team you're supporting, but even those of other teams, because you get to battle against them as if you're also part of that team you're supporting, because whoever they're fighting up against on that day, you fight against the supporters of that team on the same day. So it's a sneak peek of how their lives work as professional players as well, but then it's a more community-centric kind of approach. I really enjoyed spending the panel today, the first ever English panel together with Renmar. But to close the entire show for today, let's throw it over to our host, Mara.
It's a show of domination, and the Titans proudly roam the MPL arena. Marami pa tayong dapat abangan dahil tuloy-tuloy ang bakbakan dito sa MPL Philippines Season 14. I'm Mara Aquino. Thank you for watching today's show, and we'll see you tomorrow. Keep it good vibes, everybody.
The 14th season of MPL Philippines is brought to you by the following.